Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I want to confirm this is the hockey happy hour. Yes, we really do. But anyway, I am Memphis Beauty alongside my co-host, Olivia. What's up, Dave? How's everything going right now? Good, man. Good. Watching a lot of hockey this weekend, a lot of outdoor games in the stadium series. Very exciting. It was, definitely. There's been a lot of crazy stuff going around the hockey world right now. There's been a few articles that have grown up out of nowhere that have been very interesting to look at. I just read them a little bit, and I think that's quite interesting. A little sluggish, but quite interesting nonetheless. What about you? Anything interesting coming up in topics lately?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Olympic break. I'm sure a lot of players are as well, especially those that are participating over in Sochi, maybe the last time.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, there is an article where the NHL owners are not committed past 2014. That's the first topic I want to talk about. The Sochi Olympics might be the very last time we actually see the NHL players in the Olympics. Like, I can't possibly imagine the Olympics without.
Yeah, I can. I'm a little older than you. I remember when it was just collegiate athletes. I don't know quite how to feel about it. I like that nature of the young player rising and playing for their country. And when they started making dream teams and Olympic basketball and then Olympic hockey, I really see the value in it. I thought it cheapened it a little bit. But I got into it. It was great seeing some of my favorite NHL players performing for their national stage.
I mean, to me, I always thought that, the Olympics should have the best, and the best are the pros. Because the Olympics are the Olympics. It's only the biggest championship, international-wise, that comes around every 4 years. Every 4 years, you prep yourself for the gold medal, no matter what sport you're in. So, to me, I just think that it's only fair that the pros stay there. The pros are allowed to be in the World Championship in the IHF, so why not keep them in the gold medal and the Olympics? Why not?
Yeah, I mean, you make a great point. It is the best talent that's available and should be utilized. I just like the Olympics being that true nature of the sport and coming up from college and before.
Yeah, I mean, it's always going to be one of those special things where we always had those dream teams of the amateurs. I mean, after the 1980 USA team that beat the Soviet Union, because there was back at the time, only the amateurs were allowed to play in the Olympics and in the World Championship. It wasn't until the Summit Series back in the 70s when the pros of Russia faced the pros of Canada, which was the very first real pro v pro kind of matchup. And that was quite an exciting series for those who did watch it. I mean, obviously, I wasn't allowed to watch it, and I know you weren't either. Yeah, so there was no real, quite frankly, it wasn't broadcasted in the U.S. anyway, it was broadcasted in Canada. So, still, the point is that there wasn't a whole lot of pro v pro stuff going on. That's why the Canada Cup was so important. Maybe they'll go back to that, where they'll bring the Canada Cup back if the Olympics is no longer going to be where the NHL stars play internationally. That'd be exciting to see.
That would be great. I too am excited. I got used to watching pros from my favorite NHLers performing on a national stage, but I will miss it if they do decide to do the Olympic Games.
Yeah, I will too. I mean, because of my age, I just can't imagine the Olympics alone, because every Olympics I've seen, the pros have been there. It's not, I never saw any of them with the amateurs. Baseball-wise, that's a different story, but hockey-wise, yeah, those are the pros. But besides that topic, plenty of other stuff to talk about. The Stadium Series has been kicking in high gear. Tonight will be the night where they go mano-a-mano the New York Islanders, or the Orange Fishermen, I got one like to call them, against the New York Rangers.
New York, the Yankee Stadium.
Yes. So, the battle of the Yankee Stadium has already seen one battle, which was the Rangers against Satan's team, the New Jersey Devils. Yes. And the Devils took a crushing loss, 7-3. What do you think was their downfall, besides the fact that they went to green and red in this particular event?
They ruined the jinx when they went to red and black. That's when they started winning cups, and they went back to it. But you need to have a special uniform for a special game, and these stadium series certainly have been that. In terms of what went wrong for the Devils, I just think they stopped playing. That's right on. And they lost their cups, so they came out to a 3-1 lead, and then all of a sudden the Rangers took it over. I think it shows that the Rangers are a more conditioned team, they're a faster team, and it showed out on that open ice.
It also shows that the Devils are still actually a little bit further along in that than the Devils are, because the Devils had developed their foundation now a few years back, especially when they got Kovalchuk, because that took so much money out of them, and then he did about zero for them. I mean, they got to the Stanley Cup Finals. It wasn't by Kovalchuk, it was by Crazy, Berger, and all the normal players that they had depended upon, and Adam Henrique, who was a rookie that year. So, because of guys like them, that's why the Devils were in the playoffs against the Los Angeles Kings in the Stanley Cup Final. And nothing to do with either Kovalchuk, and then once Crazy left, that's kind of like where you only have Patrick Kalakash as the only real veteran. Gallagher's there with them now, but he wasn't before. It's just been basically a bunch of new rookies that's there.
Right, and they're underperforming at this point as, they should be able to develop.
Yeah, of course. I mean, they have a better chance of making the playoffs than the Edmonton Oilers do, though. So, there is that positive side.
But there's no tight Metropolitan. Anybody it's a crapshoot right now.
Yeah, well, also in general, because it's the Edmonton Oilers and they can't apparently make their youth gym. So, anyway.
You know what I was thinking about that game? That the Devils were the home team.
In a way, yeah, because there's a lot of red jerseys out in the stadium. That surprised me. I saw a sea of red. I'm thinking, whoa.
Well, I mean, I can see that. New Jersey's got pretty impressive set on New York, not too far removed. Not too far away from Yankee Stadium. A lot of campaigns made the trip up or followed in New York, but you would think that the Rangers would have been listed as the home team, meaning, the team from New York. Well, they're going to be the home team tonight against the Islanders. Probably just the way the schedule worked out.
Yeah, quite frankly, there's going to be more Rangers fans than Islanders fans at this game. But no doubt in my mind, New Jersey surprised me. There was a lot of New Jersey Devils fans there. There was just a sea of red. I was just like, wow. They really came. I thought the Devils didn't have much of a fan base because of the fact they're squished between three markets. Between up north, you're right next door to the Rangers and the Islanders, and down south, it's all Flyers. So you're kind of like a little sandwiched in this particular region.
In years past, you'd never see a Devils fan until March.
Yeah, that's what they all come out of the woodwork. I'm like, yes, I was a closet Devils fan. It's like, yes, you're an Islanders fan. You switched over because they have a better chance of winning the cup. That's why.
And all due respect, not a biggest Devils fan, obviously, I'm on the show. But they're young hockey fans. They're a different breed. They're a lot more dedicated, and I see them coming out and coming to the games, few games that I've been out to.
Yeah, there's a lot more of them I know because I used to go to high school with a pretty decent amount of Devils fans. There was mostly Flyers fans, but there was plenty of Devils fans who were there. Didn't like them. They annoyed me because they thought their team was God's gift to hockey. Like, no, it's not. You're seeing this team, quite frankly. But still, it is shocking that the Devils are starting to get a fan base that's actually legitimate. There were legitimate fans back in the day, but there's more of them now than there were back then. Right now, that's where it's come to at this point.
Right, and I'm sure things that the organization is doing is pulling in new fan base, bringing in a name like Gallagher, certainly. And speaking of Gallagher, I thought he was finally going to get his revenge against the Rangers from our Winter Classic game, and he came out, he made a nice assist, I can post it on Twitter. Brian Gallagher gets his revenge on the Rangers. He had that Bud Robinson around, and he absolutely unlocked him out of the out.
That's a guy that had no class whatsoever. But then again, that's why he was on the Rangers. So, no ups. Always. Now, I'm not drunk. Screw the Rangers. We're in the cup again. I will win the cup. And from 1994 until thousands of years later. Anyway, so other news going around is the Phoenix Coyotes. Yes, the theme in the desert. I don't know why they're still there, but they will be dropping them in Phoenix and those to be called the Arizona Coyotes because apparently they represent all of the desert instead of just one particular piece of the desert. Now, in logic thinking, I don't really think this matters. I mean, you can switch names. You're the exact same team you were 2 years ago. You're relevant. You want to have a good team, but you don't have a fan base. Like, literally, you do not.
It's a simple schematics, all about the money.
True. I mean, Gary Bettman had permission to buy the Phoenix Coyotes So, the Coyotes changing their name, that's one thing going around. Not really important, but it's one of those articles. What do you think? Do you think that the Phoenix Coyotes are actually really relevant at this point in time? Do you really think they deserve a team? Or do you think this team should just be bought, sold, and moved, or just completely discontinued?
I think they do deserve a team. They certainly do well out in the West. With all the California teams, there's some good rivalries that are coming about. I hate to see them move, because they were formed by the Winnipeg Jets, and they'd be that new Megaton team. The league had to come in and save that with Gretzky, and I would hope that they would stay. I like them changing the name to Arizona and kind of being a little more congruent with the other sports teams there. That might help them out a little bit.
True. They have the Arizona Diamondbacks. You have the Suns, but they're the Phoenix Suns. But, maybe the Arizona Cardinals. So we got about now it's going to be 3 out of the 4 Arizona teams that will have Arizona as their representation. And not that the Phoenix Suns don't represent all of Arizona, because they do. Because there's no other, there's no other team in Arizona for basketball.
Wouldn't be surprised if they follow suit as well.
They might. You never know what's going to happen with that. The NBA already changed the team into the Pelicans. So what's next? Next thing you know, the Pelicans will be another team called the Shitbirds. But anyway. So, throughout history, there have been some interesting, awesome, cool, disgusting, pretty interesting jerseys that have roamed around the NHL. And we decided to just, because we felt like it, we're going to name our top 10 jerseys. Our top 10, this was the coolest jersey that I ever saw, even if it wasn't a Flyers jersey. That's the main rule. The number 1 cannot be a Flyers jersey. That's all I'm saying. My number 1 can't be, because it's too easy. We got to think harder than that. All right? So now that you know the rules, Rob, I want you to start this contest off. What were your top 10 favorite jerseys? It could be one that's no longer around, or one that is still being used today. Whichever one, as long as it goes through NHL history.
Let's go with number 10. I'm going to say the old Capitals jersey that had, the stars and all that stuff
with the hockey stick and everything. Kind of like their new logo. Kind of like the logo is not as revised, but still. That was a cool one. They had cool jerseys, too, because they had stuff on their shoulders, too, as well. So that was a really cool jersey.
I remember that most dawning that when he was finishing up his career, and that was one of my favorite jerseys. Definitely, I don't own one. I like collecting jerseys across the league, but that would be one I would definitely go and buy.
Yeah, because it was a cool jersey for its time, and it was also one that struck and evoked fear during a period of time for Once Again fans. Not really Flyers fans, but it was a cool jersey, and that was during a time where the Capitals had good teams, and then they had bad teams, and they really had bad teams at one point, because they had the league record for the worst regular season record. Like, they had 17 wins, and God knows how many losses and ties back then. And you could tie. But it's pretty interesting when you think about that with the Capitals. So what's number 9?
Number 9. Now I'm going to have to say, I like the alternate jersey from the Bruins. I know it was that mustard yellow gold with the bear.
Clawing, like markings on the bottom and the top. That was a very intriguing jersey, I would say. It had cool writing and it had a cool look. I thought the bear logo was kind of strange. I thought they should have just gone with the Boston Bruins. Maybe even go to Ranger style, go Bruins straight down, because I thought the bear logo was kind of stupid.
That would be the one of the original 6 teams to embody that across the shield. Yeah, but it wasn't. It's like basically they were like the Canadian Nazis. But I like the fierceness that the bear represented. And not that obviously I'm rooting for the Bruins, far from it, but it was a good look for me.
Yeah, I think that was a pretty interesting jersey. They had that for 2 or 3 seasons as an alternate, and then they got rid of it, of course. But that was still during the time that Bork was still on the team. So just to go showing you how long ago that jersey was worn, Bork was still on the team. that separated it wasn't the red one, where like some were red, some were orange, I guess is the color. Oh, that one. And then, of course, the dark blue one.
No, I like the whole red one. They all red one. Like, I just tore through it, and the whole blood flowing down. It was great.
I mean, they were an intimidating team during that time period because they really had good runs in the playoffs. I mean, they made the Eastern Conference Finals like twice. They won once. They lost in the Stanley Cup Finals their first year in the league, I do believe. It was their first time, their first year in the league, and they made the Stanley Cup Finals. They ran into a brick wall called the Colorado Avalanche, but it was a great run for them because nobody, and I mean nobody, expected that team to go anywhere. I mean, you know, I was like, I'm sure it's all one of them. Well, I was, but I was like a little baby. So how was I supposed to know? You know, like, I wouldn't know these things. I didn't really start paying attention to hockey until 97, so first team I remember was the Legion of Doom team. That's Independence team, because my dad was a Pittsburgh fan, so I knew the Lemieux Jagger team, which I respect that team, because it did have talent. You know, you can't say it wasn't a good team, you know. Sure. But anyway, still hated them because they were Penguins. Anyway, so we've got our number 8. What about your number 7?
Number 7, you just mentioned Senior on the stick with the Colorado Avalanche back in the late 90s. They had the Colorado going across and had a big foot like this. That's what shows a patch on one side, and then at the side of the Avalanche coming down on the other, and just that color combination, that was a good look. It was.
So you liked when I had Colorado coming down. Which version did you like? The dark reddish one that they had back in like 2001, and they kept it through the summer? Do you like the newer one where it's like kind of light bluish? The light bluish one? Okay. So you like the new modern one compared to the old-fashioned one? Right. Okay, then. So we got that one. All right. What about your number 6?
Number 6. What about this? I'm going to say the Gordon Fisher.
I was actually getting ready to really have a field day of that. Don't teach me.
I'm going to say Los Angeles Kings with the crown. That's the fourth round.
Okay, so do you like the golden crown with the blue and yellow or purple and yellow like the Lakers, or do you like the crown that came after with the dark blue and the black?
The dark blue and the black.
Dark blue and the black. When Simmons and the rest of them were playing on the Kings and Luke Robitaille was still around. Okay, then. Yeah, that was pretty cool logo for the Kings. I mean, it was. Yeah, they used it for a long time. It was their logo for the longest time. But we leave the Los Angeles Kings logo to number 5.
Number 5, I'm going to say the throwback Vancouver Canucks jersey going back from their Stanley Cup run against the Rangers. I believe that was in
94. So you liked the good old-fashioned, simple, basic, German colored Vancouver Canucks jersey.
One of the few rare breed there.
That's a big thing. Yeah, well, that's obviously not a Canucks fan. So, no Canucks fan loves those jerseys. Are they supposed to have made up their opinion? So if we are wrong, let us know, Canucks fans. How are we supposed to know?
Yes, but Canuck is a bit of a derogatory term towards Western Canadians.
Well, yeah, true. But you know what? Sports teams have always found a way to make something negative and make it a positive. You know, I mean, Yankee from the New York Yankees used to be a real negative term, and now it's become a symbol of respect in baseball. So you never know. You never do know.
What are they in football, the Washington Redskins?
Yeah, that's a big deal about that nowadays.
Yes, they are. It's bringing back up to the forefront, and they might need to change it.
I don't think so. I mean, what's the point? You know, you've had the Redskins name for how long? And now you're starting to complain about how it's racist towards Native Americans. Now, are these the Native Americans that are saying that, or are these the annoying people who just need something to bitch about that are saying this? Just saying, Future Housewives of America, if you are yelling about that, screw you. Seriously.
It's a lot of friends of their people. Just like you told the Yankees to restore pride to that term, I think that it's a restore pride to Native Americans.
Yeah, think about it. I mean, the Redskins have demanded respect in the NFL. How many Super Bowls they got? They got about, what, 3? Yeah. So they've got 3. They've had solid teams many, many years. They used to be one of the most dangerous teams to go up against in that division. And they had one of the loudest stadiums, too. So, to me, I don't see how there's derogatory in this.
I know that historic joints are Northern Canadians, but have you ever heard anyone complain about it?
No. Anytime somebody says, yeah, I'm a Canucks fan, they ever get insulted? No. They take their Canucks jerseys with pride and they are cheering their team on every day and hoping that for once they will get to the cup finals and not choke. But anyway, maybe that's why, because they choked right out of that against the Rangers. They really did that with a full 7 too.
There's usually people that don't complain.
Yeah, I mean, I will give Canucks fans credit for all of the times that they've made it to the finals, which is about 3. They have never complained. They've gone 40-something years without a cup, so basically their entire existence. I have to give a salute to them. They have never once complained, except when they were Rangers in 2010. That's a different story. Anyway, we move on to number 5. Let's go to number 4.
Number 4, I'm going to go to the alternate Tampa Bay Lightning's jersey with the lightning bolt going across the logo.
Okay, so are we talking the new lightning bolt or the old lightning bolt?
The old lightning bolt.
The old lightning bolt. Okay. What's the alternate? What alternate were you thinking of?
It was all black with the blue circle and the white lightning bolt going through.
Okay, I see. So you're talking about the ones they had back in 2001 or 2011. Those were cool. Those were cool jerseys. The Lightning had a cool logo. Yeah, they really did. I thought, wow, they have a really cool logo.
What's that for the area? And obviously, Tampa's known for their strength leathers.
Yeah, they're up the range.
And much like the hockey team, they're freakish and they come out of nowhere.
True, look at this year. Yeah. Nobody expected them to have the offensive passion season they're having. They have nothing but the runner going out of my place. They have a shot. Oh, yeah. No, I got that on the hard way. Sadly. I tried not to remember that team only because it was too painful at Eastern Conference Finals because we lost to Game 7 and we had it won. It was a shame. That's why we started to have painful memories. Yeah, no more drinks. You are cut off, sir. Even though you're not drunk, you are cut off because you brought that memory back up.
I'm on my first family.
Anyway, all right, so number 4, Tampa Bay Lightning, old classic 2007 and 01 jersey. What's your number 3? Get into the big ones here.
Yeah, we are. Number 3, I believe I'm going to go with the classic Montreal Canadiens jersey with the CAH for the Canadian Hockey Club.
So you mean the old-fashioned rated sweater with the blue line over it? I think that's a really classic jersey. I mean, it's the most classic. It's the oldest. It's the one everybody recognizes. If you're a hockey fan growing up in Canada, you don't know what the Montreal Canadiens logo is. How are you Canadian? Everybody knows what the Montreal Canadiens jersey looks like. And even if you're a hockey fan, you know what the Montreal Canadiens jersey looks like. It's just unnatural. You should know this. This is God's hockey team, basically. Literally, that's what they say.
Their legacy, look at their standing history.
They have 24 cups. They have 35 appearances, even including the pre-NHL years. So, I mean, good Lord.
Yeah, I remember when I went to visit the Hockey Hall of Fame up in Toronto, they had a replica of their locker room back in the original 6 days. I felt like you were there. It was just folklore right there.
See, I wish that the form was not taken away, so that way I could go see the game up there. It would be a great honor just to have gone up to the form and actually get a chance to watch a hockey game up there. As a hockey fan, that's really something that if you were around long enough, you could put on the bucket list. So that's always like, I'm pretty sure most hockey fans back then winning solo game at the form, just one. Even if it wasn't their team facing the Canadians, or if their Canadians were their team, they still went and saw it, It was like people in gardens. People had to go there too because it's the classic Canadian stadium,
Exactly. Yeah, all the more motivation to build that time machine.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm already going to the Spectrum, so I don't need to worry about that. I went and saw a whole game there before it got torn down. Luckily enough, I went and saw the fields there. So, I was almost taken to the Flyers game there, but I was too little. Because it was 95, I was only, 3 years old at the time. So, I had to take it until I was about 5. And now the well was already up. So,
oh, good gracious God, I was just about that. It's still spring chicken.
Anyway, I'm young, 32.
That's right.
Anyway, so we have your number 3 as the old-fashioned Montreal Canadiens jersey. What's your number 2?
Now he said it needs to be a Flyers jersey, correct?
No, because it's too easy. Okay. You've got to go with something. Now, number 2 can be. Number 1 can't be.
No, so anyone on the list could be number 2. I'm glad I mentioned one of my favorite ones across the league. I'm going to say number 2 for the Philadelphia Flyers, and it's the jersey that they wore at the Winter Classic.
Okay, yeah, that's actually a pretty neat one. I have one of those, actually, the Danny Briere one. He was a great player for a long time. Well, Danny, hopefully one day you will come back home. Hopefully. Literally, he does live here, so.
Yeah, so that's absolutely. If you can sign like a one-day contract with Firefly, that'd be good for me.
Why not? If Alec can do it to be a Blue Jay, why not?
It's fair play. I just loved how it felt like a real throwback to their inception into the league. He also covered the Flyers' history, and that was exemplified during the alumni game.
What I think is funny about this jersey is that, I looked at it, and then I thought it looked familiar. I went and looked up the New Jersey Devils jersey. It looked just the same. It's the New Jersey Devils jersey. I thought that was funny. It's almost the exact same thing on the Devils jersey. But anyway, so, you know what, people steal our stuff all the time, so we might as well steal theirs, you know?
Sure, that was fair play.
Yeah, sure. I mean, if you look at the old these jerseys and the one that I'm wearing, the Flyers now old jerseys, look at the old Stanley Sharks jersey. Doesn't it look pretty similar to the ones that we have now? I mean, the Flyers had that before them, so it's something that you make it, it did look deadly similar to it in a lot of ways.
Absolutely. Well, that's good foreshadowing to my number 1 jersey.
Oh, boy, good. Great team. What's your number 1 jersey?
The original San Jose Sharks jersey with the shark fighting through the hockey stick, that beautiful teal green.
Nice. What version of it? Was it the one that looked like the Flyers jersey, or the one that came apart with the black lines and everything? With the black lines, or the early inception, 91 and 97. Okay, they had the little skin logo up here on the shoulder.
Yep, there you go.
All right, Dan. Back in the olden days of the Sharks, before Marlowe was there.
Well, I'm just thinking through this Flyers jacket, but I have that exact copy of the San Jose Sharks when they came about. Okay, it's in stores somewhere. I know where it is, I think. I don't wear it too often, but I thought it was notoriety into the league.
I mean, the San Jose Sharks, I'd say, they're probably my favorite Western Conference team, only because the poor guys have not done it. And they've come this close on so many occasions to get into the finals, and they screw it up somehow, some way.
Does that sound familiar?
Yeah, that's why you gotta love them, you know? And there's a lot of parallels there.
Well, things like that, yes.
Yeah, just root them on, you know? It's like, go San Jose, go get your first cup. The probably San Jose fans out there, we're much like brethren. Only yours is we have to go. We have something to look back on.
It makes me think better.
Yeah, that's not exactly what it is. Anyway, we move on. All right, so it's my turn to pick some of the jerseys. Well, my number 10 jersey, I'm going to do the Blackhawks jersey. The red one. It's been their was a cool looking jersey.
Oh, yeah.
I never got that kind of shit. As a little kid, I don't think you know what fruity is. So, I just thought it was a cool jersey personally. You know, there's actually been people who've done versions of that for the Flyers. I thought, maybe. You know, I mean, well, why not? I mean, the Flyers color is tougher anyway. Dull, you know, black and gold. It's like the thing of fruity anyway. And now they are. You know what's fruity? The powder blue. That was the most fruity color in hockey. No team can wear that color in pride, except the Northeast back in the day. Only team that would deserve to wear that color in pride. That's it.
They busted that out for their Winter Classic game.
Like, still, it wasn't. Like, what's the point? It's so stupid. Like, seriously. Like, you have black and gold. Stick with it. You know?
So you look at the jersey that you pointed out. Yeah, it is pretty cool with the jersey. I can tell what you're on.
Yeah, I just thought it was cool looking. You know, I thought it was cool sci-fi like. You know, to me it seemed like that. So, but I do know that the Penguins record sucked with it. So that's what I feel. That's real about.
Now we got to the part of the matter. It looks like it's science fiction. Obviously, they had a huge science fiction book. And they lost a lot of the jersey. Yeah, number 9.
Number 9 belongs there. All right, number 8. I will say the old Phoenix Coyotes jerseys. Not their alternate, but their home and away. I thought that was cool looking. Like the whole kind of like, what's going for it? Almost like Indian art that they had for the cutoffs. I thought, wow, that's a cool jersey, you know? And their logo was cool too. Their old Phoenix Coyotes logo. It was so odd looking. Yeah, it's another one of those, because you know the arts, you gotta love that jersey because it's really an artist's dream, right? That jersey. I thought it was a really cool looking jersey at the time. I actually had a little dude, you know, remember the little hockey dudes? I actually had one that had a Phoenix Coyotes jersey on it. So, yeah, so I don't know where he is. I lost him. It's a shame too. I really love that guy too. He's really cool. But,
I could like a cool color.
But anyway, so yeah, I always thought those were cool jerseys, personally. Number 7, the old Ottawa Senators jersey. Now, there's actually 2 Ottawa Senators jerseys I'm going to point out here that I really liked. The first one was the red with that black stripe that went across the white outline. I thought that was cool, and the logo was cool. The logo looked tough. You know, it had that really tough-looking senator guy kind of looking at you like you want to talk with me. You know, really, that was the look on his face. And back then, the team of the Senators were horrifying to face. Nobody wanted to face the Senators at that time. They had such a good team. You know, they had Alfredson, Chara, Hossa. They had Hasek and goal for a period of time there. They were just a good team, you know, unstoppable. And then number 8, I believe that was the one I was on, right? Yeah, that's the one I just mentioned. Number 7, no.
Yeah, 8 was the Senators, not number 7.
Actually, no, 8 was the Coyotes. Don't try to trick me. Number 6 is the next one for the Ottawa Senators, and that was the other one where they had that kind of rolling like yellow gold stripe going across the black design. I thought that was another cool like artsy look to hockey jerseys. I like a lot of the elaborate jerseys. Basic jerseys are cool too, because less is more. But I like the ones that go over the top because I think that most sports teams go over the top when they think of their jerseys anyway. You know, I just like it because I like designing things. You know, like as a design expert, you know, like just drawing doodles or jerseys or things like that. That's cool stuff. You know, now dresses. Don't you dare bring that up. Okay, don't want you thinking that. Anyway, but nonetheless, I thought that was a really cool jersey. I thought it was cool in the library. And so that was number 6 on the list. And I'm probably going to be a minority in this. I know I'm going to be a minority in this, but the old Capitals, the old teal, and brownish, I thought that was cool. But they made it look tougher. Right? To me, it was a tougher jersey. I thought they looked like wimps with the red, white, and blue. And they didn't win much with them. You know, they got to the Stanley Cup Finals in the other jerseys. So they tried to do it. You know, I thought those were cool jerseys. I thought
this is more, like you said, it's very simplistic, and they're just coming at you.
Yeah, absolutely, which has been the staple of their team. So now we move on to my number three. All right, my number three, the Anaheim Mighty Ducks. They are one of my favorite jerseys. The old-fashioned, with the stripe going across, the old kind of dark maroon, sort of tough-looking colors that they had before they switched to that really stupid-looking jerseys that they have now. But that jersey was cool to me because I grew up in that generation that was huge Mighty Ducks fans. Because I mean, when the movies came out, they came out when I was a kid. So I love the Mighty Ducks logo. And at the time, the Ducks used to be my favorite Western Conference team. That kind of changed after a while. I started feeling more sorry for the Sharks. But to me, the Ducks they were such a cool logo. It was such a cool team that they had. It was really cool.
Yeah, it's great back, the Duck Bill, the Holy Bass.
And they had some good years in those jerseys, too. They really did. They got to the finals for the first time in those jerseys. So they got to the Western Conference Finals, too, along with it. They lost the Oilers, but they got there.
And the college team was great. And tied into, obviously, the Walt Disney movie that we alluded to in the beginning of the show. And a lot of people thought that to be a little too kiddie for the hockey scene, but it definitely took off. And look at what the organization did.
Yeah, I mean, look at what, it looked funny at first. Paul Correa pulled off, he was just like shot, goal, shot, goal, shot, goal. He was always scoring. Like, it's just, man, it's Solani helped him, and Solani was just added to the team. Niederbauer was on the team. Not stop or run up the there. And eventually Ponder got there, and even Bruce Gallo used to wear those jerseys. Arguably, that was how long ago those jerseys were around. Bruce Gallo was young at the time of those jerseys. But anyway, so I always thought that was cool. Cool coach came, cool jerseys from the Ducks. Good call. Yeah, my number two. I love, and I still do this, this is a jersey, just like you, the black. I was teetering between the two. Not the cutoff one. I didn't have one of those. If you have one of the cutoff stripe ones, I would be wrong. Just how good that was. But I love the old-fashioned, like, Legion of Doom, kind of like it was, the original stripe, full down, black with the orange separating it. I thought that was cool. That was a really cool jersey. And a lot of times the Flyers did well in those jerseys. Think about it. When they used to have black as their home, they used to win a lot. They still did, even in 08. When they had the Knights are going to, they used to win a ton at home. So, I mean, they did some amazing things when they had an old black jersey. Albeit, I thought it was more of an away jersey, but when they started wearing it at home, some kind of charm when they started wearing it.
Orange at home, but there was magic. The biggest memory I have was, I think this was out in Pittsburgh, not a home game, but still with that black jersey on in the playoffs. Keith Primus scored that goal in the fifth overtime.
Back when they used to have an away jersey, they were really good in those. Like, they used to win a ton in those. I mean, I was really caught, too, because I wanted to say the home jersey, too. I wanted to put the orange one at the top. I was really caught, because that was a great jersey scheme, It was really cool.
I'm glad you said it, because I was teetering between them, because I love black jersey. I think it's a great backdrop, and maybe you can't see it. But I was teetering between that one and the Winter Classic one, so I'm going with the Winter
nothing too extreme, but it's still cool. I still find it interesting.
Yeah, it represents the different temperatures and levels of fire.
Yeah, it did. I thought it was cool. I thought it was really cool. And I always thought the flames one was cool. Yeah. The burning sea. Less is more in the States. It was such a cool logo. Even the Atlanta Flames had a cool logo during their time period. It was just the A with the flame. I thought, that's a cool logo. Am I going to argue it? No, it was an awesome logo.
Yes, sir.
So, that's our top jerseys. We will be posting these in picture form. So that way, in case you have no idea what we're talking about, if you're too young, but you didn't know this jersey, or you didn't do your research, or if you just don't care at all, we're still going to post them. Now, we're still going to put our top 10 jerseys. We thought these were cool, and we made sure that we kept only one Flyers jersey on this list because we didn't want to see two guys, even though we were. And that way it came out perfect. So, there we go.
Absolutely. Chime in and say, that we're full of baloney. If you have any other ideas, feel free to comment.
Absolutely. If you listen to the episode, feel free to give us your top 10 in your jerseys. And you can do it in picture form, or you can just send us a list. And then we'll see which one. And whichever one was our favorite, we will actually say, we will announce that list on a future episode. But you got to post first. Come on now. Post for us. And we might even try to get a hold of you to be part of our show. Why not? Would you like to be on the show? It would be awesome for us to be a part of the show. We're always needing people to shout out about how awesome the Flyers are and how bad every other team is. Fresh meat. And if you are a Dallas fan or Rangers fan or Penguins fan, don't be intimidated. Feel free to come by and challenge us. We will look forward to the challenge.
Great conversation.
And we promise, no beat up. Anyway, so we go from our top 10 jerseys. We'll get into another top 10 later on. But let's talk about, what do you think about the Flyers game? I mean, obviously the Flyers had a game last night that was truly spectacular. They had just a phenomenal flurry of offense. It was one goal after another. What do you think about that game? I mean, they won 6-0. I think it was, or 5-0. It's close enough. But still, they just dominated the Red Wings.
They really did. Ultimately, the Red Wings were a shell of their former selves. They're so decimated by injury this year, and it kind of gave me insight to why they're so far behind in the standings. I feel that the Flyers came up with some tough losses, and they really need to put their best foot forward. And they really did. They came out, finally, right out of the gun, just firing on all cylinders, really, really forechecking well, and brought the game to them. So it was a little bit of both. It wasn't just that the Red Wings were easy play. The Flyers played a complete hockey game, 60 minutes for a change. And, everybody's got injuries. You got to put up the best roster you can. And it was good that we were able to take advantage and get a key 2 points.
Absolutely. I mean, let's be honest here. The Flyers team going into that game, I'll be clear, I was a little worried. I was really worried going into that game that, oh boy, the Red Wings going to be able to snap their losing streak. They weren't doing well. They're going to shut out in 2 straight games. I thought, oh, great, this just spell. Flyers give them their first goal, and then they start dipping the scale. But the Flyers stayed calm. They didn't allow themselves to get too far down. And they thought that, oh, okay, just relax. Take it one step at a time. They had a great first period. They kept the Red Wings at bay. The Red Wings were attacking, but they held them off. And they scored the first goal, which was very important. They did not score the first goal in forever. Literally, they were getting killed in that period. But they were able to stay calm, get the first goal, and then they didn't let the lead lose. They didn't get tied. They held them off. They went into the second period, and that slowly started to become a Flyers game. But I do have one bad thing I want to take away from it. Too many penalties. Way too many penalties the Flyers took. Now, there were offsets, but there weren't many. You cannot take all of those penalties. They're lucky the Red Wings didn't have that Spreaker or Farmington. If they had any one of them, a goal would have been scored at least on 2 of them.
At least on 2 of them. Poor Chief, man, he's losing more and more hair by the second.
He didn't have them to begin with.
They didn't win it, but they all had the honestly, they've got to play more disciplined hockey because other teams
always does. That's a good thing. It's not good to say that. It's just like, does a great job, as he always does. I've been able to say that, ever.
Literally. Absolutely. He became the first flyer to pitch a shutout against the Red Wings since Roman Jack Brown in 2001.
That takes a lot. That takes a lot of skill. Now, the Rangers haven't had great success in most flyers since the 97 Stanley Cup final. But the fact of the matter is, they still didn't shut him out. The Red Wings made it a game. This one was not a game. It was not a game at all. And the Flyers take the season series. They not only tied the season series in Detroit, but you won it in Philadelphia. Round of applause for Philadelphia.
Another little fun fact about the game, you made reference to that the Red Wings were coming in after being shut out 2 in a row. Obviously, this makes 3 in a row. They had only done that one time in franchise history back in, I believe, in 1934, 1937. But that had done about 3 games in a row.
It's just crazy when you think about it, because you're thinking, how does this team do that? Like, it shouldn't happen that way. It's like, no, it shouldn't. But it did.
All because of the injuries.
Yeah, because of the injuries. I mean, there's only so much that you can do with a team that's a little banged up. I mean, they made the best effort that they could. They really did. They did everything they could not to lose. But there's just certain things you can't do. If you can't hold out, you can't hold out. I mean, this is a team that's starting, I think, if I was the Red Wings, going to be a little concerned, because even though a lot of your players are going to the Olympics, and a ton of them are, I still feel like without Zetterberg, Datsuk, and Franzen, that you don't have it. The team just doesn't have, it's too young.
It used to be a very deep team, and now they're starting to get really thin.
And I think that just goes to show that it's been so long since the Red Wings have had a number 1 pick. They never traded up neither. One thing that the Red Wings never did was we never thought maybe we should try and trade up to get some players that could revamp this team just in case. They never did that. But they did make most out of less. I mean, think about it. They had a lot of lower picks that became phenomenal players, i.e., Zetterberg, Datsuk. They weren't on draft picks, and they became something phenomenal. So, but albeit even though this team is, they're good, they're still very young, and there's still a lot to be learned there. So I'm starting to see that, okay, once Datsuk and Zetterberg, if they're gone, this team loses a lot. I mean, a ton of their offense.
You can't keep on trying to drop breaking in a bottle. As they did with Datsuk, and, obviously after making it to possibly 22 straight seasons.
Yeah, it's been 22 straight years.
You're not going to get the greatest draft picks. I agree with you. Straight up.
Yeah, I mean, look at what the Bruins did. The Bruins trade up at Sagan. Albeit he's on the Stars now, but adding Sagan into that roster just helped them. It didn't do anything bad to them whatsoever. Sagan, between him and Taylor, he scored more. So, albeit he was in the postseason, unlike Taylor Hall, but still, the guy had the ability.
Taylor Hall is the Bruins guy in exchange.
No, Sagan was who they got, and then they traded him to Dallas for who I forgot. I'm not sure who they got for Tyler Sagan. I'll look that trade up in a second. But still, I mean, the fact that this was a team that needed to trade up at times, because you could tell that if the Red Wings started to thin out, teams like the Penguins or the Flyers could make this out of them, and they wouldn't be able to handle it. Right? It's just the way it goes.
Well, obviously, hopefully the good guy, because Tyler Sagan is a quality player. Quality player. He's a fun-loving guy. He likes to joke around on the ice. He keeps the locker room loose. He's just a great example of young talent in the NHL.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, the Red Wings that was the first goal of the game from Scotty Hartnell, getting a deflection goal, and 1 of 2. They got that. You ever notice Hartnell, when they start questioning his playing ability, he scores?
He really does.
He's still on advantage. And it was a good night. He got 2 good goals, Giroux got 2 assists, and he got himself a goal. Sending Mike Babcock a message like, oh, there you go, put me on team.
Yeah, right. I thought first goal he just played for Florida was just a thing of beauty. I mean, frame that goal. It was just
Redwings fans, it's about time to get educated in the theme of the 80s that we never made the playoffs. It's like, don't make the playoffs for a little while. Just don't. It's not like we're going to miss that much.
I'll be fine with that. Yeah. I get back to Cardinal for a second, though. Yeah, I was one of the players questioning too much pace in his passes, not playing crisp fundamental hockey. I mean, I know it's for a great cause, but the man loses his balance on his skates more than anyone I've ever seen in the league. Really good games like last night really show you what Cardinal's capable of, what talent he has, and what he can implement on the ice. And I'm glad that the Flyers organization has stuck with him.
Absolutely. I mean, the Flyers in general have had a team that's been scrappers, and especially after the 2007 god-awful campaign when they were dead last, and that was the other guy, Van Riemsdyk. Or, no, yeah, most of the other guy because they missed the number one ballot campaign. Yeah. Anyway, twinkle toes, taste, guys, that well, they were there for each other. So, Jeff Kennedy and Crosby can't keep those two apart. Anyway, we move on. This is, it's quite frankly, it's a team filled with, it's a team filled with scrappers. A team that is just bent on attack and pound and score ugly if you have to, but score beautiful if you can, you know? And they do a great job of just balancing both out. Somehow the Flyers are probably the only team that I've seen that can balance that grit and toughness and still have enough scoring ability to keep themselves in the league. Whereas the league is kind of surpassing the toughness era. It's become more of a speed game, but the Flyers still able to keep competitive against all those speedsters out there. And a lot of times with their grit, which is something that I must say the Flyers do find that balance, which most teams don't have.
Right. But they become successful.
Yeah, a lot of teams either are too tough or not fast enough. And the other teams are too fast, not tough enough, you know, and they get beat. Flyers on the way down.
So I'm starting to doubt their greatness, to be honest with you, after last year's shortened season.
Yeah.
But they've come up forth. And I think the key thing that was Sean Garn, and we talked about it before, was trying to help it for Steve Down.
Absolutely. Because Downey having a lot more focus on that grit. Albert, he is a scrappy player, but he's not scrappy enough. You know, he's more of a finished player, if anything. That's why he fits so well in Pittsburgh. That's why he'll fit just fine in Colorado. We have Downey. Downey's tough and gritty. He's the kind of guy you need on this team. He's the kind of guy that'll punch you in the face and get score.
I'm really glad that they put him back with Raymond.
Yes, back to that magic 3 line, you know. The 3 is the magic number line, you know, because they did some amazing things down the Katurah and Reed. They really did.
In fact, the name of the lines.
Yeah, rename the damn lines. Any team, rename your lines. Please, call it something. I mean, seriously. If the Jets have called their team Aero Division, I don't care, do it. And the Sharks call it the Shark Team, I don't care, do it. Flyers, 3 is a magic number line. Get it, trademark it, make it now.
Absolutely. TV line,
Crazy Eights. Yeah, and all the other ones that proceed that were around during that time, like the Maurice Richard line, that had great teams for the Canadians. You know, so many great line names that they came up with. They were all cool. I mean, even the French connection with Buffalo. You know, headache, who it was. But still, I mean, it was the team. This Flyers team ever since 2007 has been great. It's been hardworking most of the grind, and it's had its share of everybody scoring 10 plus goals because we need a whole team to score 10 plus to be competitive, which is fine. That brings in more we attitude instead of me attitude, which gets teams kicked out very quickly. So that's what I like about the Flyers grit. It's more of a we factor.
Yeah, it's supported straight up from the organization when Mr. Snyder on down. And you see that with all the players that have come into the Flyers late in their career and they stay involved in the organization. Prime example in the player.
Absolutely. He's still here. He's doing the assistant coaching with Greg Berube. And he's one of those guys that he wears the target sleeve. And he's the guy who we found out season. I mean, it's that kind of guy. His nose is still broken to this day,
I respect so much the toughest factor, sacrificing the body for the sake of the team. It's all about winning the club.
Absolutely. All right, well, speaking of sacrificing the body for the cup, Flyers have had plenty of players like that. Some who have won it, some who have not, most have not. But the Flyers have a lot of great players in their history. So here are the 5 most clutch players that Bleacher Report put up. Awesome. We'll read through the 5 most clutch players, and then we'll come up with our own to possibly counter or agree with whatever one we have. All right, then. So, number 1 on this list, Rick McLeish. No rifle.
That would be number 5. He's always clutch. Always coming through for the Flyers when they need a goal.
Or no, I was trying to rifle with Rick McLeish, but still, Rick McLeish, what a guy. Scored goals. And he just never once, literally, never once did he ever have a tough time scoring. He's always gotten a way to just right in it. I mean, he had 1 year, he scored 50 goals and had 100 points in one season in 1972-73. Nobody, and I mean nobody, today could do that. Nobody. Nobody comes close to the 50-goal mark anymore.
I mean, possibly Stan Coates. That's not it.
Possibly. But even then, good luck. And I think there hasn't been any player so Gretzky in recent years that really hit the 100 mark. Maybe Lemieux. Lemieux did it 1 year. I think. I could be wrong on that though. But still, the 50 mark is already achieved in itself. Imagine hitting 100.
Right.
Like, holy crap.
Yeah, that's a lot of points.
That alone you deserve to not run. But anyway. Number 4 on the list, Danny Briere.
Oh, gee, man, missed the playoffs.
Of course, this is a guy who so many great moments with the Cal got Danny Briere. One of my top 5 favorite Danny Briere moments was when the Flyers were needing to tie the game, and they were facing the Boston Bruins, and they were just getting back down 3-0. They were down 3-0 in this game, and they got the one early fluky goal from James Henry. Like Briere does this cool wraparound thing, and he flips it up on the net, and it hits the side of the puck past the line. I had to review it, but it was a good goal. And then later on, he tied it up, and we took the lead. But we did tie it up. We won the series. We got rid of the Bruins, and we moved on. It was a classic Danny Briere moment. There's so many, because he had so many great shots.
By far my favorite moment of Danny Briere. It seemed like the line intervention. I don't know what Briere was going to say. He was going to intervention or before that play, but it was just an act of miracle. And that's what that whole series was to me. It was a miracle.
Yeah, well, that's a crazy thing. They had to pull off a big win. But they did so. And Danny Briere owes a lot to Danny Briere. He was Mr. Playoff for the Flyers.
He would probably be struggling during the season. Flyers getting some playoffs, and all of a sudden, like,
it was like flipping a switch around. And he just scored shot after shot.
Just like Reggie Jackson, Mr. October is Mr. Playoffs.
Absolutely. Number 3 on the list, a goaltender. Wonder how many? Ronnie Hextall.
Ronnie Hextall.
Yeah, Ronnie Hextall. He's not a clutch player. This is the guy who shut the team out when needed. There were taxi. What can he say? No one wants to have a couple of Flyers all by himself. And that game 7 against New York was a heartbreaker game. He almost won the game for the Flyers. They won with the lead. And they just couldn't hold it. It was so close. And he won the top right that year. One of the few people to win on the losing team. That's nice.
Like 2 or 3. Yeah, one hand, and it shows that he single-handedly said he single-handedly almost won it for them. And losing afterwards, the Conn Smythe company say, how do you need more clutch than that?
Absolutely. I mean, Hextall was clutch in a lot of playoff series. I mean, look at the series that he had against the Montreal Canadiens team into it. That was the full 7. And the Canadians were just a pretty good team at that time, And you're dueling with Patrick Waugh every night. So you got to be stop for stop every step of the way. Because Waugh's not going to give up a goal. And he gets up the perfect on him,
Yeah, I can say about Hex, he was his temper.
Right.
Because the rest of them ended up taking
going to take his head off one time.
Understandably, what a jerk off he was, and still is probably in his retirement somewhere. Probably now. Obviously, fans try to fight him. He's an instigator on that level. The thing I remember always about Hexy was his picking up skills and obviously being the first goaltender to score a goal. Something special. He's an all-around great athlete, great player for the Flyers history.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's one of those guys that if anybody was going to get the number retired after Mark Allen, it's got to be Hexy. Yeah. It has to be Hexy.
Is he back with the Flyers organization now?
Like Jansen is the vice GM. Oh, assistant to the GM. Basically, he is vice GM. So he'll probably take over and Paul Reed's the boot with the Flyers. So the playoffs will look like that's going to happen. So
that'd be cool. He did a great job out in LA.
He did. I mean, he systematically helped build that Stanley Cup team from scratch. They had nothing against it, and he built them back up. They got a big hand in it. So he does have a cup now. So in the front office, hopefully he can get one for the Flyers too. But anyway, we move on. Number 2, Bobby Clark. The best Flyer that ever lived.
Number 2, I thought they were saving up for number 1. All right.
I'm actually a little surprised. But again, there are plenty of clutch moments for Bobby, but the one that stands out to me being as an observer, not a man who lives through it, but being an observer going back to the history is overtime goal against the Bruins that snagged game 2 from them. That's an epic scene where you just see the photo of him jumping up in the air and holding his stick and everything up in his arms as he scored. And you just hear a teammate say, "He scored! Bobby Clark scored!" And he's just freaking out because he's still having the Flyers scored. Like, there's nothing more classic than that moment right there when he scored the liberty goal.
When he watched him just extended and electrified the whole city.
Yeah.
And propelled them to win that series and eventually the club.
It turned out to be his biggest goal of his career. And I mean, it was, literally. So, there's so many clutch moments. What's your favorite clutch moment about me?
I love that goal. I mean, there was obviously times, when he was retiring, he scored his last goal, but it was really a clutch performance. Memories of that. It's got to be that. And also, when the Flyers were battling the Soviet Union, he actually made a check on their top player, which probably that would leave the ice.
Yeah. Well, wasn't that his name? Yeah, I think he had that hit the one that hit Mikhailov. He ran him over.
Yeah, what's that big?
Well, I'm pretty sure I was pulling hits down.
It wasn't just that one hit.
No, there was a lot of hits back there, yeah. But they have the Southern Hockey team game where they beat the hockey team. They showed that picture of the giant Flyers with giant clothes in the Russian paper beating up the Russian team. Something like that, because we were the barbarians of hockey, and we did take hockey's holy grail and took it away. We are the heathens of hockey, and yes, we fornicated for sure.
As a captain, I have a favorite moment of Bobby Clark as a GM. Players like the player.
I mean, hey, it's clutch enough. Think about it. You need clutch players, and once they become clutch, hey, lots of good moments there.
It's got to be that cool, though.
Yeah. All right, then. And this is why he's number 2, because number 1 is Bernie. Bernie Bernie. There can't be anybody else who is more clutch than Bernie. Because you know what? He came home for game 6. We needed to win 1974. If we had lost game 6, the Flyers wouldn't be focused in Boston. There's no way they would have been able to do it. Not against that team in Boston at the time, because they had Orr and Esposito and all those great players. Like, screw it. We would never have survived that game in Boston. But we did win it fully because of Bernie. We got 1 goal early, and Bernie shut them down the entire game. That's Bernie Perron right there, ladies and gentlemen. Only God saves more than Bernie Perron.
That's right. I remember those stickers. That was great time for Philadelphia sports. Bernie Perron could just carry his team on his shoulder, and that was a quintessential team. And I gave that example. Very few goaltenders could do that in history, and you can count on one hand, maybe like Patrick Law, Chuck Planet, Martin Brodeur, and Bernie Perron.
Bernie Perron, there was very few, and he could do it consistently. aspire either to be a punt, a rooter, or a walk. That's what you aspire to be. Simple as that.
Although Hotchick in there too.
Hotchick, yes. Hotchick should have teamed up pretty decently himself. So,
no one will touch it, so I could back to make all these.
Yeah, not a lot of times that would wind up costing. So, fun, that makes it scored on them a lot. So, it didn't matter. But nonetheless, I mean, you could also argue that Belfort goes in there. He just had the stone cold focus. I mean, I never saw a goaltender. It wasn't just a mask on, and you just see this stone cold look on his face. There's a guy who's focused. Like, I think it was when he was still in Dallas, and he just took the mask off very quickly. So cold. He's not shaking at all. And I think it was the final too in '99. When he had to go up against the Sabres anyway. So, I mean, you got to give a goal for him. He was just an amazing goaltender during his time.
Absolutely. I think one of my favorite goalie hockey matches of all time when he was on the Blackhawks too. He represented that stone cold face. I think the Eagle, man.
That cool Eagle. He always had those. Everybody when he had them when he was with the Stars. Even when he was with Toronto. And yes, he was with Toronto at one time.
Everybody has its attachment thing with them.
Yeah, and the Canadians. Yeah, although I'd rather be with Toronto than Americans winning the cup right now. Not much, but right. But anyway, so those are the 5 most collect players and Flyers that are Bleacher Report standards. Now, this is a stark list. I must have it. But not all of them are right, in my honest book. My first one, number 5, was to Leclerc. Here's the guy who scored goals when they needed them desperately. He was sung, but not sung as much because he was kind of overshadowed by Lindros. Again, Renberg was too. Everybody focused on Lindros because he was the captain. He was the big guy, and he was scoring 50 goals a season, and not having troubles. Until he got hit in the Stevens. But anyway, after all you Devils fans have already got off that, fuck you. Anyway, we move on. John Leclerc, he scored goals at the most opportune time he needed to score. When we needed a goal, Leclerc would do it. Lindros wouldn't. Renberg won, but Leclerc was the president. He was the one who put in that goal.
Doing the dirty work.
Absolutely. I mean, he was Scott Hartnell before there was a Scott Hartnell. That's legitimately how he played. Where he would get in a guy's face, shove him down, and score. That's his goal,
Hartnell made him said that he won a lot of his game after Leclerc.
So there you go. It's not a coincidence why he plays the way he does. He plays just like Leclerc.
I'll start with Leclerc
number 5 for Leclerc. Number 4 is going to have to go. In my honest opinion, I will go with Barber. Because he used to score, he would score a ton of goals. And he was a clutch player when he needed. He would score that big goal. Got a lot of times. And McLeish would too, but there's so many you could pick. Leach, Clark, even Schultz could score when he needed to score.
From the 70s games, I'm going to have to go with the red for Reggie Leach.
Reggie Leach, yeah, that's understandable. I like Barber in this spot though, because Barber's just a huge goal scorer,
I've been all around better hockey player. Yeah, sure, Leach had a great sniper shot, but Barber, was a great two-way player. He did all the dispensables, and it's not surprising that he turned out to be a pretty, widely successful coach.
Yeah, now, number 3 has to go to Hextall. I have to put Hex in there because you know what? You're right. He was the clutch player of the 1980s and the 90s of the Flyers. Without him, the Flyers would have gotten in the playoffs. Because he would stop everything coming down his path. Nobody could stand on their head like him.
Absolutely.
So, good stuff from Ron Hextall. Number 2, I'm going to say Danny Briere. Danny Briere, because that's the most recent history. I remember Danny Briere when he was yesterday scoring goals.
Yeah, right, but putting him on that list, I agree with you.
Higher up on that list. I think he goes to number 2 because in recent years, without him, we wouldn't have gotten as far as we have. I mean, the Pittsburgh series, he scored a lot of big goals. A lot of people scored big goals. The Bruins series, without him, we were screwed. Without Briere, we were screwed because he scored so many timely goals in So, credit give him credit due. Primo deserves that spot, in my opinion, at number one.
He just always put his team on his back. He was
absolutely did.
Going back to the Hurricanes, Hartford organization, he just put his team on his back, and he was instantly a beloved Flyer for doing that. The Flyers fans are the most educated fans in all of hockey, and they recognize when a player plays for himself, when he's playing for the team. It's always about the team, and ultimately cost him his career with the concussions.
Yeah, true. I mean, look at the list in general, too. Did you look at the list? I mean, Danny Briere put the team on his back. He cared about the team, heart and soul. He put the team on his back. And you also have players like Bill Barber who would put the team on his back, although a lot of that was very well distributed in the basketball era. But Leclerc definitely put the Legion of Doom on his back at times when Lindros wasn't hitting high and Remberg wasn't doing anything. Leclerc would get that goal. Leclerc would get that ugly goal that was needed. And then Lindros would get going and Remberg would get going. So Leclerc, in a lot of ways, was a setup guy for the whole offense picking up.
Absolutely.
So that is my list. What about you, Rob?
I already gave up some of my opinions on this list, but I'm going to keep it with Leclerc number 5.
Okay.
I'm going to put Mark Recchi at number 4.
Yes. I almost feel guilty on having him on my list.
Yeah, so many great goals for organization. Both,
he has the record for the most goals in a single season now.
Yes, he does.
Nobody has broken it. I don't think he will. But Frankie, he can have a ton of it here.
He's just a pretty predominant goal scorer. Whenever they were down here, the goal would come through. And he did it in 2 different things for the Flyers. Just a tremendous career overall. Such a long career. And, as much as I didn't want to say it, Boston won a cup. It made me smile. At least not Recchi got another cup before,
Yeah, I mean, Recchi had, I think he has like 4 cups. Because he's got one with Pittsburgh here. The boy competing in a rookie year, you want to say, like, I just haven't been the right place for the time.
We do this every year, right?
Yeah. And then he won one with Pittsburgh again, actually, because he was on that team that beat Detroit. And then he won one more. He won that 3. He did win the more Boston. But it's nice to see that Recchi got, because Recchi, all those years, Recchi deserves a Stanley Cup. Right? He really does, because he was a clutch player. He was a clutch player for any team he was on. Right? Pittsburgh loved him because he was clutch. So did any team. Carolina had him for a year. Even Atlanta had him. Montreal had him for 4 or 5, and he was clutch for them. And then Boston, he was clutch for them too. I remember because Recchi used to score on the point. Like, Recchi! Why are you doing this to us, Recchi? You're killing us here.
Absolutely. So, yeah, it's also Leclerc number 5, Recchi number 4. I think Danny B number 3. We've already covered that, how clutch he's been in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Number 2, I'm going to go with Bernie.
Bernie?
I'm going to go with Bernie. Yeah, that's a tough box. I was saving one spot for a hockey goaltender. And if I had to choose between Axel and Bernie, I got to go with Bernie on the Cups.
Yeah, I mean, I would like him because he would put both. It's hard to really say why I picked Axel. Maybe it's because he was tougher. But still, I mean, Bernie was Bernie. And I could say one of the best, if we had the top 10 all top 5, it was Bernie. There's no doubt about it. Bernie was in the top 5.
Clutch player.
Yeah.
All around better.
And to me, that's why he had all those clutch moments. And he scored goals. Which you got to get credit for, He scored a goal.
Absolutely.
Not that that's clutch, but still.
Absolutely. Number 1, so maybe people would love to say Primo, but I'm gonna have to go old school. I'm just going Bobby Clark, number 1. Number 1 clutch player. We also covered that as well. Just really defining what a captain should be.
Yeah, I mean, he always did. He kind of said, "This is how a captain acts on and off the ice."
Right.
And he also said, "This is how you act on the ice. This is how you act off the ice." I don't care. You're all over the door, but that's a beautiful child.
Exactly. You got to learn how to turn it on and off. It's a game. It's a passionate game. It's very anger-filled game.
Yeah.
Once that's done, when it's done, tremendous knowledge.
Best of the best of the couch potatoes. Anyway, I wouldn't have this job if that was the case. But either way, I'm not drunk. Anyway, it was in the way it is when I was done playing hockey, I would just, that was my hockey stuff. I'd play, I'd just wear myself out and throw my body around and just be intense as I possibly can. But when it was over, it's just okay, back to being my goofy self, because that's the way you are when you play sports. You get intense, you get tough, and you get focused. That's what you got to do. But once that all passes by, it's going to be like, okay, back to normal.
And that's why they don't let me play hockey, because I like to not do that. I can't play my time in some of the performance, the importance of it. But I get so angry and outraged. I'm like, that happy guys, I do this kid after the game. And never shut it off.
What a great movie that was. Anyway, the only time I ever saw Bob Uecker beat the crap out of somebody. But anyway,
the price is wrong on that.
How did you turn it off? Okay, so we moved on from the plus players. We were just going around, obviously, the great outdoors of games that we've had so far. And obviously, there are 3 more games coming up that are going to be outside, soon to be. Who do you think's got this game? The Rangers or the Islanders in the Stadium Series?
I think Rangers come back and get the revenge for the Islanders coming back on them 5-3 in their last matchup. I think Rangers are playing solid hockey right now. Islanders are creeping back into the playoff conversation. I just feel that already they have the experience being in the outdoor stadium, Yankee Stadium, and they're going to have a little bit of know-how there on how the ice plays out, when they beat the Devils. I think the Islanders just don't have enough firepower to be on ice. Obviously, when they went in front of the Lundqvist was not in that. Right, I just really feel that Rangers come back victorious against them live on the stage at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, I mean, it's always the way it is. You have a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication from the Rangers and the Islanders. But the Islanders they're a team that's just not gelling. As much as they try, they really try. I can't say that they don't, but they just can't make it happen. There's nothing else I can really say. And I don't want to sugarcoat it because I don't really care about the Islanders. The point is that your team doesn't suck. It just doesn't have the gel factor to make it work, And that doesn't mean that you have a bad team. It means that you don't have the team to do it right now. I think they do need to do a little bit of they need to hit the market a little bit, I think it's time to trade some people. I personally think I'd trade guys like maybe Kyle Okposo. He's a great player. I think he needs to go to another team. Same thing with Matt Moulson. Actually, Moulson's already on another team. But I wish I forgot him, actually, because all the players I want Matt Moulson the most, because he was a lot like Ford in a lot of ways he plays. But
President of Moulson also got
Moulson looked good. But anyway, there's a lot of other players that I think definitely need to leave that team and venture out to other teams, because the Islanders just are not finding a way to make it work. They really aren't. We've tried. And they have tried. And they have tried again, but they can't do it.
They might need to start from scratch.
Yeah, that's like the 5th time they had to do it. They really just blow up the foundation all over again.
And in their defense, they do constantly try to make that team better. They definitely do not sit back and cross their fingers and hope that it'll come together, much like San Jose.
Well, yeah, absolutely. San Jose is different, though. San Jose is they're still like, our veterans are what's going to get us. No, not really. Your veterans aren't going to last very long in this year's Western Conference. How do you see these teams?
Speaking of West Coast and outdoor games, did you catch the Green?
Yes, I did. 3-0 slaughter from the Anaheim Ducks. I mean, my boy Miller, he was phenomenal in that.
Takes a lot of shots up there. San Jose blocking them all.
just the player that mentioned the goaltender.
And that makes the Oilers' performance
that's better. That's the fact that he was able to do that. But Quick, you can make an excuse for. I mean, albeit Quick probably had an off night, and we all go in every now and again, and we all have those days where they have a little off today. Still, I mean, it's not meant for outside hockey in California. There was this world of hockey with uniforms and breeze. I don't think it was really meant for that, you know.
Yeah, they originally said that though when they started making games out in Florida and California, that the ice isn't going to hold up as well with the modern innovations. So I got to admit that, you know, the ice played very well. It came with the ice. But yeah, there is something about like hockey as a winter sport, and it was just very shocking. I didn't enjoy it well with me, but the game was good in terms of Quick. None of those goals were his fault. It was just poor defensive breakdowns by the Kings, little moments of mental lapse, and he made a lot of outstanding saves as well.
He did, and the fact that Hiller was able to do that in that kind of weather is pretty amazing. And the fact that Quick had his off night, you know, I think that they'll get corrected and keep going. No fight of the Kings and the Ducks are going to be in the playoffs anyway. So, I mean, the Stadium Series wasn't like it's a battle of, okay, this team's going to win the playoffs. This is the one that's like down here bottom. You know, and
it's only a prelude to what the West may come down to the battle between the Kings and the Ducks.
It might if all the stars align properly. And actually, it might not because they are in the same division. So I don't think they can do that because they're doing it more divisional now than they were. They're doing it like the old style. You know, back in the good old Prince of Wales Conference Cable days. Right? Back in the
it'll be a battle in the Western Conference Finals.
But it'll definitely be, I could see it being the divisional final. Absolutely, I could see that. And it wouldn't really surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me at all. Well, now that we got through that, we go to the next Stadium Series game, which will be coming up, which I actually forgot about this one. The Chicago Blackhawks and the Pittsburgh Penguins. And who is home in this, by the way? It's out of pure curiosity, because I forget.
It's got to be Chicago. It's Soldier Field.
Oh, dude.
But again, that was for the home team in New York.
I don't expect Pittsburgh fans to come out too many throws. It's no cold. You're right. That's what ice too. I mean, you imagine when winter rolls around in Illinois, it's just ice you drive on. It's not road.
It depends on the schedule. I mean, it'll just be in theory for the home team. If that was the case, you would think that they got to get this one right. If I love to be the home playing in the Soldier Field,
it would also make sense if this background here for the team was a friend. So it makes sense if they're home. But anyway, for me, between the Rangers and the Others, I think the Rangers winning that. And I'm pretty convinced they're going to go 6-4 or 6-2 to dominate them. Bruins and Blackhawks, this is going to be a close game. And I think this goes to a shootout. I think this will probably be a 2-1. I'm just a Pittsburgh win. And the reason why I say that is because away teams find a way to win in this winter classes. Very few home teams have won. Think about it. You know, Buffalo didn't win theirs. Flyers didn't win theirs. Sadly. And we almost snagged it from Boston in our time against them. So away teams, and watching it in Pittsburgh and theirs. So a lot of the away teams are winning these winter classics. So I have to say Pittsburgh's got a lot of odds in their favor this time around.
Very well. I feel, and of course, the weather conditions are going to play a factor in this.
Of course, especially Chicago.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think goal scoring will be down, just in general with potential in the forecast. I'm going to say Chicago takes it at home. I'm going to say that they win 4-3 in regulation. I think they have a few goals going on. I think it is going to be a tight battle because obviously you have the best from the East and the best from the West. Or not the best from the West, that would be the Ducks, but Chicago's one of the top teams in the West. I really feel that's going to be a great matchup and it'll be a really good finalization of the Stadium Series.
Absolutely. I think that now could be really cool to see, and I look forward to that. It's going to be about basically the two top teams, or at least by the NHL standard, of what we think is the top team, which is really tough, especially the Ducks. NHL. But anyway, nonetheless, it should be a really tight game. It won't be real cut and dry. Like most of these Winter Classics have. Like, the Winter Classic, you're going to cut and dry because there's team Detroit, Toronto. These are two very even teams. The series in Yankee Stadium, kind of cut and dry. The Rangers are Rangers have the advantage in both games. Doesn't matter who the home team is. You know, and even though the Devils were the home team in that game. What is talking to the Devils? They started off down.
Here's my question again. I mean, of course, we're not still have 2 more games left to go. Do you think the Stadium Series sticks around, or do you think this was a 1-year variety because there was no Winter Classic last year and no All-Star game this year with the Olympic break?
I'll be honest with you, I think this is a one-off deal. And I say that because it's going to be expensive for the NHL to be putting that kind of money into an Olympic break season like these stadium games. That's going to cost a ton of money. I can understand they keep the Winter Classic and the Heritage Classic because then it's special. Right. There's not a ton of outdoor games that are going to happen. There's only 2. There's one for the Canadian teams, one for the American teams. And I think that that's fine. That gives us something to look forward to, right? You know, it's like, hey, you know what? It's the biggest game of the year next to the Stanley Cup Finals. So why not do it that way? You know, why not make it more special by keeping 2 instead of doing 7 or 5? You know,
that was my big complaint was that you're almost making these outdoor games too commonplace. There's
no
speciality.
This year, I didn't even want to watch them personally. Not only because the teams aren't really ones that I care. I tried to watch Winter Classic, I missed it. And the Thanksgiving Showdown, I tried to watch that one, but I couldn't watch them. I just missed them. But I missed the Winter Classic, and I did want to see that. The Heritage Classic, I might just take a peek at that between Ottawa and Vancouver just for shits and giggles. The stadium here, there was no interest in it, personally. Because what was the point? You know, just like you're doing the Stadium Series. Why? I mean, I understand you had to cancel the Winter Classic last year and the All-Star game, but still, it makes no sense. To me, it's pointless.
Yeah, I like the notoriety of it, specifically the game out in Dodger Stadium. It just sounded like novel to see, but after I watched the first period, I kept it on just to keep knowledgeable in terms of like a fan interest. I wasn't too jacked up for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, there's no real fanfare for me personally. I don't think most of the Flyers are involved. But I do like taking a peek at it just to see for what's going on. You know, like, I'll take a peek at the Winter Classic, you know, for different reasons. Like, I watched one 2 years ago, between the Capitals and the Penguins for a very good reason. I wanted the Capitals to win. And the Capitals did, so that was a good night. And there were some other games on. So I wanted to see the Capitals beat the crap out of the Penguins because the Penguins deserve it. And that was the night where I saw Crosby at best. One of the greatest, most beautiful shots I ever saw. Next to the Dragon Hatcher root canal. It was beautiful. But anyway. And of course, it's just a classic. And I just always like the fact that you have 2 and it means more.
Yeah. You know, I can see them doing it in exhibition sense, but
yeah, and this is for points. It's like you might as well keep it in the stadium. You know? But anyway, so we have the Heritage Classic, which will be between the Ottawa Senators and the Vancouver Canucks. The horses out there. And I do believe it's going to be in Vancouver that they will be playing this because they have a single team in Ottawa does not. So that is why. And I'm going to pick Vancouver for this one because Ottawa's had an iffy year. They've had a year where, we're hot, we're not. They have no idea what they're doing. Vancouver, on the other hand, are pretty much firm in the playoff right now. So I say Tovarowski gets them.
Yeah, Vancouver.
Yeah, I think it'll be a 4-2 victory. I think it'll be one of those normal hockey scores. So I think Ottawa will try to make it a game, but I don't think it'll happen.
I mean, Vancouver always had a good scoring threat. Now, Toronto brings a more hard-hitting style of system to the Vancouver Canucks. You could be a match we didn't have in more help.
I think more help. I think if you're speaking about Toronto, personally. Yeah.
I've been there for a little bit for an altercation. That was interesting. Keep that temper check to us.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
Maybe I can get into coaching if that's what it takes.
I'll take him out. Get the Mighty Ducks. You bastards, what did you unfortunately, he'll be one of those guys who never had a Stanley Cup. But he will retire, and we will remember him forever for his time in Philadelphia. He had a good run. He was with some good teams during his tenure.
Absolutely. Great goal scorer, touch, great knowledge of the game. Just a hard-working player who will be sorely missed.
Absolutely. Well, Paul Holmgren is saying now's the time to make a move. Basically, obviously meaning about the playoffs and about the deadline and all the wonderful things that come along with it. And we, of course, talk about the trade deadline. And the NHL's cap dropped from $70 million to $64 million, which will really put the Flyers in trouble. Now it's going to go up this year. With that being as the knowledge, what do you think the best option would be for the Flyers if they're going to make a move now?
Yeah, tighten up their defense.
Okay.
Definitely something they should be targeting immediately.
So who do you think, what teams would you think, any team you could look into, what would be that defenseman that you think would fit with Philly?
Two words, Keith Yandel.
Keith Yandel. And to me, it makes sense. The pieces are there. All we got to do is put the fielders up with the Phoenix Coyotes and see if they'll be willing to take us on.
Well, they're struggling for money. Obviously, we can help them a little bit.
Very true. I mean, Paul Holmgren, not Paul Holmgren, Ed Snyder did do a favor for the Coyotes, so maybe the Coyotes might oblige him with that.
Yes.
Possibly. I mean, they have a solid team. Keith Yandle's a part of it, but Keith Yandle's not everything. So they could do it that way. They could make something go without him, too. We need him desperately. We need players like Keith Yandle now. We need them desperately, actually.
Yeah.
So we're already too late, damn it, Paul Holmgren.
Someone that can certainly be strong on the blue line and also coming on the roster. I think he'd be a perfect mix. It's something that Mazzaros is trying to epitomize this year and has done a fantastic job at it.
He has, but he's inconsistent, unfortunately. That's the one problem that I have with it, is how are we expecting him to do that every game? That would be impossible.
Yeah, try to get him on the take over and out and shoot him. Like, if he makes another turnover right in front of the net, I'm going to shoot him personally. I'm not technically going to do that. People sort of put that out there. I'm just saying I'm very unhappy with this game right now.
Well, I mean, we always know that. We always know that. But like you said about, go out. He'll do that to him instead. But anyway, I mean, I think Coburn does need to go. He's old. It's time for him to. It's time for us to get the old guys out of the system. Tiemann, I love him. He's one of the greatest defensemen that we've ever had. But I can't say that he should stay. He doesn't make many mistakes. The problem is he's too old. He's 40. It's time for him to move on. If he wants to get a cup, it's time for him to go to another team other than the Flyers. I would say go to the Ducks. You might have a better chance at this point.
I have some brethren on there as well.
I mean, personally, I think that would be a better idea for us to get rid of the older guys, move on, trade them, go younger. Keith Yandle's one of them I look into. I look at, not the Ducks, like the Ducks would be well moving on, because their defense is still a little old. I would look more towards also the Islanders and see what defensemen they have, because they got a lot of young players. Maybe Edmonton, because there are a few young defensemen that are making some statements out there. Maybe Dallas.
You go out there and get straight so we can have street and straight.
Yes, just for that. If I want the same defensive player, you're a genius. You're a genius. But in Lever Dallas, another young team that I think has a lot of good future defensemen. But if we get one now, we can mold them and really turn them into something good. It's hard to do that in the defensive aspect, but it's good if he already is in the NHL and he knows what he's doing. So I think go to find some of the teams with a younger core and give them a leader. Even as a leader, put Coburn up for sale too. Coburn, you might have to go piecemeal. But a team in him, you could trade and get something back from him.
I think you put those pieces of the puzzle with like one great players like Bruce and Luke Chad.
is no loss that you can afford to take after that. And the Flyers are just coming off of a nasty 3-game losing streak. That was atrocious. They took 3 very unnecessary losses, and 3 very embarrassing losses. They lost to Carolina, a game that they could have won. They lost to Columbus badly, which is a team that they were much better than, or at least in age-wise they're better than. And then on Saturday night, they lost to the Bruins badly. That's a team you got to stand up to, because you might very well have to face them in the future, and that team's not going to change anytime soon. So that's a big rocket scientist to figure out that something's wrong here. So I'd say get some defensemen, get some young youth in there, and build them up. We got the youthful in the forwards. We got the youth there. Now we just need the youth on the back end.
Absolutely. Pair them up together, get on the same page, and it's hard to heal. I mean, as much as our goaltending has been superb this year, they've been left out to dry far too many times.
Absolutely. And poor Mason and Emery have had to stop everything coming down the pipe. And Mason can only do so much, and we know for a fact Emery can only do so much. So what are you going to do? You can't put the goaltender there to snag a game every 5 seconds. You got to get better defense, younger, and mix it with the old, and get the young in there. You can't tell me that Grossman can't help them, and Mazzaros can't help them. Both of them can teach these youthful people. And if you have good coaching with Berube, go with it. Bring the youth in. To me, it helps. It makes sense. Well, other news that Craig Berube said to Downey that I am looking for intensity. Well, asking you shall receive. Because I'm pretty sure if anybody's been intense, it's Steve Downey.
He's taking the place of our Ender Bernal now.
Yes, exactly. Not the funny part. That's been Hall's job. I know Rosehill's job in the racing games. Rosehill took that job. But one thing that the Flyers have been a problem has been that because every 5 seconds they have been getting in the penalty box. Intensity is good, but how much intensity are we looking for here? We need to be careful when we talk about intensity because it's great to have it. It's also bad to have it too. So just throwing that one out there. A little food for thought. A little bit. Not literally food, I'm sorry. We can ABC down. We're going to get out some more. Hot chip over there. Oh no, I saw it actually. Oh, all right, cool. Yeah, it was, my mom showed me that. But it was funny. I liked it. Right? So I want to actually have that shop too. I would like to open that shop. What used to be, for the Penguins, it's called Console Energy Center. Especially when it faces the Flyers. We can make it that way. Anyway, so, as for the Flyers right now, they're getting ready to go up against, and I'm totally bummed out. I forget who they're going to face. Who are they getting ready? Anaheim, yes, they're. Yeah, all right, I've got too much. I'm cut off. You were cut off early for saying something stupid, and I'm cut off.
I say something stupid all the time, whether I'm drinking or not.
Anyway, so we have the Anaheim Ducks coming up against the Flyers on Thursday at 10 o'clock. A nice late nighter. I always love those late night games. But anyway, last time they met late night, you didn't make Christmas tree in the middle of your room. So that should be interesting. The Anaheim Ducks and the Philly Flyers meeting up for the second time. If you're the first time was a nightmare, the Flyers wound up costing themselves the game. They worked hard to tie it. It was 1-0 for the Ducks for the longest time. Flyers worked hard to tie. Turnovers, once again, came back to haunt us. And 2 turnovers, 2 goals. And the Ducks win 3-1. So, after that little run through with the Wells Fargo Center, they're going into Anaheim, the Honda Center, a place where Anaheim has been flawless. Even though they have their first loss, they've taken a loss there now. They're still dangerous, and they're still flawless at home. What is the Flyers' mindset getting ready for tomorrow?
You got to eliminate the turnovers. The game. Just praise the saw that case play in our previous matchup.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what killed the Flyers at the end of the day. That's what caused them to lose.
You got to come out high energy, play smart, fundamental hockey, and really take the crowd out of it. You take the crowd out of it, and the game can be hard. It's a pretty key game. We started off with 3 games. Wesley, the typical California trip, Anaheim, Los Angeles, San Jose. These are valuable points that we really need to get into the top 3 in the Metropolitan Division. We've got to take advantage of it against Anaheim.
Absolutely, and the Flyers do have a chance to get into the wild card of this time because the fact that they got that win, and it all depends. I want to take a look at the NHL schedule here because depending on what Columbus did. Because Columbus and us are missing neck and neck now, right?
I would not play the chance, given that's one of those top 3. Forget about the wild card, shoot for that, and then fall back on the wild card if needed.
I would too, but it always starts with step one. Step one is getting into the wild card, and step 2 is back in the division. Step 1 is going well right now. Ottawa did beat Columbus last night. Thank you, Senators. Hopefully you do win the Hurricane Classic. Right? Since they did that, the Flyers now have the opportunity to shoot up past them and past the Red Wings because they were able to tie the Red Wings in points because they beat them yesterday. So depending on what's going on tonight, the Red Wings I don't think are playing. Tonight's games are about 3, and none of them have any teams that are important. The Rangers are in there, but hopefully the Rangers, because they do get a loss tonight in the Stadium Series, that's 2 points they don't get. So that will help us try to climb ourselves back into the division. But we're going after Carolina. That's right, Carolina's back. Oh, we didn't miss them. They're back. Bastards. Anyway,
the red flags on there is that we are coming through to you on Wednesday, January 29th. So we're talking about the NHL schedule on the 29th.
Yes, this is true. And for Montreal, the Flyers, I forget what I said. For the Flyers, tomorrow, obviously playing the Ducks. The games that matter are the Washington and Columbus game because Washington's been on a bad streak. They really have shot themselves right out of it. Unlike the Flyers, Washington's here, the Flyers are here. On the outside looking in, they look like a snowstorm. We're kind of at the front porch of the house right now. And for now, hopefully Washington can gut out a victory against Columbus. If so, that keeps them at bay, and the Flyers, they can get a win on Anaheim, which I pray they can, because that's not easy to do whatsoever. If they get a win on Anaheim, which is huge, they will push Columbus down further. And as for Detroit, they are not playing on this night. So that means another advantage for us. We can get ahead of them, and Detroit can match us. So we have a chance to jump into the wild card spot tomorrow and hold it and keep it, hopefully.
It's a great week against the Red Wings, obviously getting the 2 points head to head, and then potentially we can muster, I don't really care if it's a shootout, 2 points.
We need 2. We can't just take 1. We can't just settle for 1. We gotta take 2. Winner takes all tonight, tomorrow. It's gotta happen that way. We gotta play it that way too. Along with that, update, Kimble Tibbetts has been injured, a lower body injury. Yeah, he left in the second period, did not return. There is no disqualification on the injury. I believe disqualification is the word. And if it isn't, feel free to correct me. And say, no, you dumbass, it's not a water. I'm drunk, give me a break.
Yeah, I read it in their dictionary, we're good.
Yeah, anyway. It's disqualification. Well, fuck it. We move on. Timonen, of course, hurt. He might be out. Probably won't be out against Anaheim. I do not like that. Because Timonen, out of all the older guys that are on this team, does very well still on defense. He still can play, and shows the signs of that 20-year-old that he still thinks he is. So, I think that is very important that Timonen does keep that under control, and hopefully he'll be back soon enough, and hopefully he won't be too missed against the Ducks. So, there's the one reason that I think the Flyers will be down. Besides Ronaldo, but he's been gone for a while. So, he'll be down, and he'll be out Basically, that's the future for you when it comes down to when it comes to the good old fashions that we all know. And they is good old fashioned, beat you up, big score. But anyway, so Technology trade, Vanderbilt to put on waivers. So Vanderbilt, he was iffy. He has highlights and his misses. He's not one of those players that I'm hoping to see more of, personally. Time to get more. And a lot. Those are two guys I want to see more of, timing and a lot.
Really, I'm pretty confident we're going to see this in the game in terms of defensive depth. Having 7 qualifiable defensemen like him with Gustafson and Halgill. But our depth is exquisite. It's from bringing up these players, playing them on the third and fourth lines to gain that hockey, that NHL experience. And that's what he got. He got his first NHL goal with the Flyers. He'll be back.
Yeah, absolutely. He'll probably be back. Nonetheless, Ronaldo tonight will be starting, finally ready to come back and ready to beat up people. So now we're going to play a little song here that I'm pretty sure most Philadelphia Flyers fans will remember. Way back in the day, for those fans of the Broad Street Bully era, here is a song you might know very, very well. That was the wonderful rendition of Penalty Box by Dave the Hammer Schultz. Back in the good old days, the Broad Street Bully era of Philadelphia, the Flyers back then were constantly in the penalty box. But anyway, especially Dave Schultz. And it still holds the league standard in penalty box. But anyway, we move on. The reason why I played that, and it's not just because of nostalgic feeling, but it's also because it's time for us to put somebody in the penalty box. Because quite frankly, with the way this Flyers team's been playing, there's a lot of good, but there's a ton of bad. And somebody who wears a suit goes to work in the front office of the Philadelphia Flyers and speaks, I think that our team is still good. I think that man needs to go to the penalty box. Of course, anybody who would have the brain already knows I'm talking about Paul Holmgren. Paul Holmgren, as good as the players you were, you suck as a general manager. I mean it. He went and got a goaltender that sucks. Where's Gallo? Traded away our two best players, and Richardson and Carter. Fucked the team up. He really did. He fucked this team up. And now, we are suffering the repercussions from it. We don't have a reliable defense. We have great passion, but we don't have the tools to do it. Why? Why Flyers getting rid of him. Just saying. Come on now.
That's an interesting story. That's cool.
I mean, could you please? That's not a good enough excuse. Players are going to do what players do. Mike Richardson, Jeff Carter love the party. So does Patrick Kane. Then comes the Chicago Blackhawks trade his ass away. What is wrong? What is wrong with you, Holmgren? I know you want to be a kind of a clean, it's all about a system. But guess what? If they're ego-driven, let them be ego-driven. Lindros was ego-driven his entire career. So, how many times was Flyers in the playoffs with both all three of those players? A ton. Very few times were they not in the playoffs.
Well, his final verdict will be set after this season.
Definitely.
Or the end of the season will be the final verdict.
Absolutely. There's a part of me that almost wishes the Flyers don't make it just to give him the act. But there's another part of me that says that wouldn't be good because we need the players to get that experience. Especially Mason. He needs to get playoff experience. And believe me, that is getting to the playoffs. So, other than that, watch my home goes in the penalty box. That is the guy I threw in the box. It's your turn. Ref Poggia. Who are you throwing in the box? It could be anybody, from the front office to a ref to anybody on the Flyers who deserves, or anybody in the league who deserves that penalty box slot. Besides Gary Bettman.
Besides Gary Bettman. That was the one I was going to do.
Come on, you don't think more does is too easy. It's too easy for him to be picked on.
Let me think about this here for a second. If I had to pick one player that I want to put in the penalty box, I think I'm going to go with an old friend that's on the Vancouver Canucks now. It's Tom Sestito.
Okay, then, what's the reason for it?
The reason why
He was part of the whole team?
Twice, so to speak. And also, he leads the league right now with 167 penalty minutes. Albeit, that is his role. That is why he's on the ice. He's definitely proud when he was a Flyer. I'm still proud of him now, but he's by far the dirtiest player in the league.
Speaking of which, since we have decided to talk about one of the dirtiest players in the game, there's another segment that we're going to do. We decided to transition from the penalty box to the sin bin. Now, on the hockey rink, they might be the same, but in here, in the hockey happy hour, they are different. The penalty box is talking about who's made the wrong mistakes where. But here, we talk about the most filthiest, dirtiest, disgusting disgraces to the NHL.
In that case, I want to change my answer. Am I allowed to change my answer?
Absolutely, since you're part of the hockey happy hour, you feel free. If you were a guest, you wouldn't be able to. You're not a guest, so you can do it.
All right. I'm going to give Sestito for the spin there.
All right.
In terms of the penalty box, I'm going to go with John Tortorella. Exactly. He was suspended for I believe 6 games, equivalent to 15 days without play for basically attacking the opposing team's coach. Kid, you're freaking, you're angry, or she's an order, dude. Like, what are you doing there?
His name is John Tortorella. Think about his last name for 2 seconds. It's a little hard to do that. And think about what team he used to coach.
I appreciate coaches being passionate. It really shows that he's got this.
We're not going to lie. The early part of the season, he was nuts.
Yeah, he was going after, who was he going after?
I think it was Babcock, and then he was pulling like a freaking horse now. Like, geez, I didn't know why. I just kind of fired him, like literally. I mean, I'll let it get off for a couple times during the open group.
I appreciate in both instances, both Tortorella and Watt, showing the passion, showing that you got the players' backs, but you got to keep your emotions in check. You got to show that control and that discipline that Arnold talked about.
But you see, there's a perfect reason why Tortorella did what he did. That's why. Because John Tortorella's been a tumor, or he's been a tumor the whole league.
No, it's not a tumor. It's not a tumor. Yeah, I question where Vancouver goes from here, but just setting an example for your players is just a poor
I probably won't throw out I wrapped up the suspensions before his coaching career was done and done. Anyway, so I have to go into the sim there a little bit, and it's time to see who is the most filthiest, dirtiest players, and what you hated about them the most. And you can feel free to get us your allocations on both the penalty box and the sim bet. Feel free to tell us who you think belongs in the penalty box for Philadelphia, and who you think belongs in the sim bin. Who was the most filthiest player to you that you absolutely hated, and who in any part of the NHL deserves that box, who deserves that seat for 2 minutes or more. Now let's get into the sim bin. Let's start with you, Rob. All right, go into a little bit.
All right, I'm going to give the top 10 dirtiest players in the league right now. And I'm going to start with Cody McLeod from Colorado Avalanche. He basically had a fracture where he had a brutal hit from behind on Nicholas Carmelo, and he hasn't had gotten his suspension as of yet, but it was just downright dirty. Yeah, that's what poor Cromwell was saying, and it was kind of, it's like now he's going to be constantly on the league radar.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I did see that, Jack, and thinking about it, it's like, how do you not get penalized? It's just one of those penalties. How do you not get penalized for that?
Well, the refs missed it, but something tells me that, GM and the NHL officials will not miss that, and he will be different from the commissioner's office.
I mean, he'll be here for Brendan Shanahan. We know correctly.
Absolutely. Number 9 on my list is a fan favorite, Alexander Ovechkin. The Washington Capitals. I mean, he's one of the game's best players, but Ovechkin occasionally goes beyond clean physical play and it's straight into dirty territory. He hits hard and often, but sometimes he hits an opponent in a vulnerable position, kind of like Scott Stevens.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, it doesn't just have to be active players. Feel free to go into the past, too. If you want to put Scott Stevens on this list, feel free.
I'm going to go with active players right now, but Scott Stevens is forever number 1. That's for sure. Basically, most recent rap sheet for Ovechkin suspended 3 games for charging McCulloch on January 23rd of 2012. He was suspended 2 games for boarding Brian Campbell on March 15th, 2010. He was suspended 2 games for a knee hit to Tim Gleason on December 1st in 2009. And he was fined $2,500 for slew-footing Rich Peverley on October 24th, 2009.
This goes back a few years, and slew-footing is one of the dirtiest things you can do on the ice. It is one of the nastiest things I've ever seen done to people. And people think, well, is it that bad? Yes, it is. Slew-foot somebody once. I almost was slew-footed once. It's not pretty to have done to you.
Absolutely. It's so dangerous.
It is. That could hurt somebody. They could hit the back of their head on the ice. You could break your ankle doing that. Like literally, people can break their ankles with that. This is not right.
Right. Absolutely. Number 8 on my list, another fan favorite of the show, Brad Marchand from the Boston Bruins.
I hate Brad Marchand.
He looks like a kid I grew up with, too, right? He does like discipline. He has borderline hits and now that doesn't stop running and runs, drive, all combined to put Marchand high up on my list here. Given that he's only been a full-time NHLer for 3 seasons, his record of supplemental discipline is just too impressive to ignore.
Yeah. But we go into your number 7, right?
Yep, number 7. I'm going to go with James Wisniewski from the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Wisniewski? I thought it was Wisniewski.
Wisniewski.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, Wisniewski.
A little Porky Pig moment there or something at the time, but Wisniewski finds himself on this list primarily thanks to 2 hits that led to big
Yeah, we have to do them last year. Because those last year Blue Jackets were in the Western Conference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's number 7 on the list. Number 6, Madison LePerrier from the St. Louis Blues.
That's an interesting choice.
I mean, despite pretty late suspension history, he's always been suspended once. There seem to be a few hockey players that are hated that he just gets under people's skin, kind of like Scott Hartnell.
Yeah, he finds a way to piss people off.
He gets the face rubs, and albeit so it's not like big devastating hits, still dirty play, in my opinion. He's absolutely one of the most hated guys in the NHL. And this leads me to another all-time favorite, hated guy, Matt Cook.
There's a guy you can almost slap across the face and kick him in the balls.
Absolutely. It's such a dirty player from Pittsburgh.
I would also capture him, too. That's different. He doesn't have balls enough to deal with anybody who can fight him.
He's currently with the Minnesota Wild, but I remember him from his Pittsburgh days, so he constantly.
That's the castration.
He's just such a dirty winger, and somebody bad. He's been known for spoon-feeding players as well. And, he's trying to reform his image with the Minnesota Wild now, but he's been enabled. He's been hammered.
He's a mother. And he can just take it and he's shove it up his.
Absolutely. His biggest suspension was he was suspended for 10 games in the first round of the playoffs for helping Ryan McDonough in March 2011. So it's been a little hard since he's had a huge suspension, but he's just one of the dirtiest players in the game. And now I'm going to bring up a Flyer.
Of course, you got to put Flyers on here.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
I have the Flyers.
He was our original Flyer. Went away for a little bit to Tampa and eventually to Colorado. And we just got him out. He was hanging out. Much like, not like.
Why not put Steve down in this list?
Absolutely. Much like LePerrier and Cook and Markham for that matter. He gets under the team's skating phase with bigger passion. That's why the Flyers picked him up for that grittiness, and I respect that. But he's definitely a man that needs to put his emotions in check a little bit.
Well, you see, the thing is, I'm all for being hypocritical, and I'm all for the fact that I will root for the Flyers to have dirty players, and I will gladly see if they break somebody's arm on purpose. I will gladly cheer. But if it happens to us, I will be very angry, and I'll call that man the dirtiest player in the world. Yes, I'm hypocritical, and yes, I'm being a dick.
So far since he's been on the Flyers squad, he has shown discipline. He actually has it, and that's what he's been. What he's most notable for is leaving the bench to join a fight.
He's done that too much in his life and in his career. You got to tone it down just a little bit. Tone it down.
Absolutely. All right, so that brings us to number 3. We're getting into the heart of the matter.
Oh, boy.
Yes. And for number 3, I'm going to have to say Rafi Torres is on this list.
Yes, Torres has to be on this list.
His charge in I believe the playoffs last year was just disgusting. He was an Ottawa Senator at the time, correct?
He wasn't the Senators, you're right. And then he also did one for one of the Blackhawks, and he was a Canuck, too. He did it twice. Like, how do you do that twice? Well, it's clear you're doing it on purpose.
There's another hit to Barry Costa.
Oh, yeah, that was dirty. He left his skates and everything. He jumped up and got him.
Yeah, he was given 25 games for that.
Even Scott Stevens didn't leave his skates to somebody. He left his skates to do it. Like, he did it on purpose.
And, I personally like to respect the guy that wants to change the play of the game with it.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's what separates him and Scott Stevens.
Right. Right. Exactly. That's why I know when to do it. I think Ronaldo pulls it off quite well. But not Mr. Torres there.
No, sir.
Absolutely not. So number 2, another former Flyer.
Yay, more Flyers!
Or current Flyers in this case, with Downey. But number 2 on my list is going to be Daniel Marcello. Currently now is on the Rangers. just a diver and he just issues reckless hits. How can you be both? You know, you touch him immediately, like almost a bad Sidney Crosby.
Now, I don't know if we're chirping, but he chirps too much. He runs his mouth off. Another thing that I think the Flyers got rid of him for, he kept running his damn mouth. Like, there's going to come a time where people are going to get into that. Man, like, shut up. I mean, I know you're trying to get into other players' heads, but you get into our heads too, so shut the fuck up. You know, there.
Yeah, you always miss time. There's a time and a place for everything.
I mean, this time that fight against Calvin cost us that game.
Yes, sir.
So, let's just say, Carcel, even though he had some great memories of fire, i.e., when he scored in the Devils and won us a game, but he also played a bad memories too, with equally as many.
Yeah, like boarding calls over the years. Car bomb, you can go away.
Yeah. But anyway, so that's number 2.
Yep, that is number 2.
Oh boy, what's number 1? Carcel's number 2.
Now, number 1, it's a choice between the aforementioned Tom Cicito and this player that I'm thinking of. And I'm going to use this player that I'm thinking of because just because you lead the league in counting minutes doesn't necessarily mean you're dirty. It means that you're sticking up for teammates, you're being a good teammate.
There's a fine line to walk between taking a necessary penalty and an unnecessary penalty.
Right.
You know, and there's always that you got to do the necessary evil. A lot of defensemen usually have to do it, but sometimes forwards have to do it as well.
Right. Number 1 on the list is going to be Patrick Collette.
Buffalo Sabres. I will admit, I hate that motherfucker.
Yes, he is the quintessential essence of dirty, evil organism.
Well, that's why he was on the Sabres for so long. Because the Sabres had nothing.
I think of like, that massive hit and that's what he enjoyed, a massive suspension on Jack Johnson, the former defenseman of the Jackets. He has a track record of, dirty hits, long suspensions, and he's too much like Marcelo is just, one of the NHL's most accomplished drivers, continuing to agitate, continually having this agitating presence on the ice. And much like the response that you have, most players have that towards him as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. He's a prick. All that off the ice. Now brings it to my list. Number 1 is going to be a lot like a prick on and off the ice. But it's number 10 first. Number 10 is going to have to go to, in all fairness, this guy was a prick. Lemieux. Not Mario. Claude Lemieux. Yeah.
Your list is all time. Mine is okay.
Claude Lemieux is a dick. He was a dick in the playoffs. He's a dick during the season because he thinks he's hot as shit. Because he can't go during the playoffs, but you have mediocre seasons. He's a dick. And he breaks the rules too. He got away with it.
He's one of the rules unless he didn't get outside the Flyers. That was the playoffs, and he turns into Mario Lemieux.
Yeah. And then the worst part is he cheats. They do dirty shit all the time and never get called for it. I can respect Stevens. I can't respect Lemieux. Stevens did this for a reason. Lemieux did it just because he wanted to be who he wanted to be. An asshole. And that's what he is. He's an asshole.
How do you really feel about it?
I got to call like I see it.
And I'm right in accordance with you. Next to talking about me, all-time most hated man in hockey is Claude Lemieux.
Absolutely. And deserving so. He made sure he had that title before he retired. All right. Number 9 on this list. And it's going to go to Tydomi. Tydomi goes right after him. The reason why I say Tydomi is a coward. As much as he was a tough guy, he was a coward. Why? Because there's a nice little video of him on YouTube running away from the Flyers. He attacked one of the Flyers. Don't go from behind. Might I have a cheap shot. But when it came time for him to step up to the plate and fight one of our guys, he ran away. He ran away and he hid behind the goaltender. He hid behind their goaltender, Ray Croft. Wow, like that is official. You are a coward. If you don't have the balls to be a tough guy, because you will take up to the challenge. If you want to be a tough guy, you be a tough guy. And you play like a tough guy. If somebody drops the gloves and wants to go with you, you take your helmet off, you drop your gloves, and you go. That's the true marker of a tough guy. Mr. Castillo, you did that. Oh, nope, you're right. Number 8. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I skipped 9 for some stupid reason, and I went right to 8. Now we got 8. All right, number 8. If I had to choose between all the dirty players, I would say Buffalo. I think Buffalo's a filthy player, personally. I think he has skill, but he's also a filthy player. First, because he taunts. Second of all, because he shows off. Third of all, because he thinks he's not shit. And then finally, because he has put plenty of bad checks out there and they don't call. He cross-checked Pronger one time in the back, and they didn't call him until he came. Like, where the hell was the ref? It was clear as day what Buffalo was trying to do, and they didn't call. I don't care what talent the guy has. That kid has no reason to do what he did, to do what he was doing. No reason whatsoever. There's no call for that. There's no call for taunting either in the NHL. I'm all for it. It's a signature move. Like, doing Greer is a signature move. I get it. But when you start doing curtsies, they start dancing after your plays, that goes beyond having signature moves. That goes beyond actually taunting a team. And that's uncalled for.
It's super cocky.
Yeah.
He knows he's good. And he is a good player. We have to say that he's got to work on that.
He throws all the talent away. Yeah,
exactly.
And it's not fair. And it's not right that he should have a quit rate. And a lot of other good players deserve one that don't.
Right.
He doesn't deserve it. He doesn't deserve that right. And the Blackhawks are pitched him the next year, so they don't need him for the cup and get him to kick his ass out of there. Because he had problems with authority. Him and Quinville did not like each other. And Joe Quinville is a very strict guy, you know? So no surprise that he had blood debts.
Undisciplined with the runners.
Absolutely. That's number 7. Number 6, one of the dirtiest players I remember ever seeing. And he's on your list too, as a matter of fact. It's going to go to, what was the name of the Blues? The Blues were Jack Getz. I forget. Yeah, because he was number 5. He was number 6, and I forgot to put him down. I forgot to make a mental note.
I got this on my fingertips. Max on
LePerrier, yes. And the reason why is because LePerrier used to play for the Vancouver Canucks. And he put a lot of good checks out there during that time period. He's another guy that I have to say, sometimes he does it for a reason. I will say he's a player that does it for a reason. He doesn't do it on purpose. But he still does it. You know, you're just as guilty when you do it either accidentally or when you do it on purpose. You know, come on now. You gotta be able to draw the line. You gotta be more disciplined than that. You don't call for it. Number 5, and it goes to a former Philadelphia Flyer, Aaron Asham. Asham is very, very dirty. Check at the last playoff series between the Penguins and the Flyers, right? Rang a few bells against Brady Shed. That was filthy. That was all hell. You don't do that. I don't care if Shed put a big hit down. You don't. What he did was perfectly clean. Shoulder-to-shoulder contact, and he knocked the guy down. Right? That's fine. But when you come around the corner with your stick up high to your face and you smash the other guy in the face, we know what you're planning on doing. That's wrong. You don't do that. And Asham is one of the filthiest players in hockey history. He was better on the Flyers, but he was filthy as well as the Penguins.
I like the way he was on him, on his black, but I mean, I still saw a lack of discipline, just the lack of control of his emotions, and it played out on and off the ice.
I mean, he's a dirty player. There's no two ways about it. And number 4, Conte. Ryan Conte has to be on there because we all saw what Conte used to do when he was a Flyer. And he was anything but clean. He was playing.
He didn't take off his skate trying to score
someone. Because Conte was very passionate when he get out there on the ice.
Man, I would not want to get to that point.
Conte was scary. And that's why he's got to be on this list because he fit the Flyers' mold in general. And it surprised people when he was around. When he was around, he'd be on that team. And he'd be around for the full time or people were around. He was that kind of player. Number 3, which is where I am with number 3, has to go to Rocket Torres. Torres belongs on this list because of his dirty checks and because of what he used to do. Torres, what he did to Jose was uncalled for. What he did in They're already playing. They're already playing. And Rafi Garza belongs on that list for that reason. Number 2. And I'm going with the right now, Danny Carson. Carson is a jackass. He's a prick. And he's a piece of shit. And he's every dirty name you can think of in the book. Because he's an asshole. He was a great player, but he was also an asshole at the same time. And the problem is, when you're an asshole for Philly, that's fine. But when you become an asshole outside of Philly, that's another thing. That's when you're dead to me. And it shows that he's still playing the same way that he always has. But also, there's a lot of problems that he had when he was playing with Philly. First, he has no respect for Weird Al Yankovic's system, which makes immediate problems because he was your coach. Second of all, he absolutely trashed the Flyers when he was in Chicago. Or what he did in Philadelphia wasn't important to him. Like, fuck you. You know, that's my attitude towards it. If you don't take the orange and black real seriously and you thought that was a joking time, you're like, go fuck yourself. That's how I feel. You didn't want to be on this team in the first place, why'd you sign? It's as simple as that. And then you go along with it, what you did in the Rangers game, chirping away, and he did a couple of times trying to get a hit in there too. Like, he's an asshole. He's just the way he is. He's the perfect definition, dictionary definition of an asshole. And he hurts a lot.
I mean, I can respect the goon.
You can respect the goon. You can't respect the asshole. Which brings me to my number 1. Former Ranger, Sean Avery.
You know, when I think of Carcel, I think of Avery in the same breath. I'm not surprised you put number 1.
Sean Avery is one of the biggest pricks that ever played in the game. Why? Because he was disrespectful. He didn't play well. He did play fair. He cheated every time he was on the ice. He fit perfectly in the Rangers system. And he was a jackass off the ice. Calling people sloppy seconds. When he goes and buys a man purse and acts like a fag. What the fuck is wrong with you? You are a prick. You act like an asshole. And then the best part is, the greatest moment I ever saw was when he shot his cover, Arnold punched him twice and knocked him on his ass. That was beautiful. Right there when he beat the Rangers. That was beautiful. Yeah, Avery was just like, oh, you want to go? Arnold's like, all right, I'll go. I got the clock. 1-2. Avery's down. I was like, hell yes. Fuck you, Avery. You're not tough. Mark was the best. Go screw yourself.
And you know what? You raised a good point there. Like, Avery was mildly successful with the Rangers system and nowhere else.
He wasn't loved by Tortorella either. Tortorella, and rotates you really have to be jackass. You really have to be a coach. It's as simple as that. I mean, even Brodeur hated him. I mean, Brodeur hated shit that's bad too. And the one perfect example was in the playoff series where he was wiggling his stick out. He stood right in front of Brodeur. Brodeur was trying to get him the hell out of the way, and he wouldn't move. And then, when it came time for them to go to an election hands when the Rangers eliminated the Devils, Brodeur didn't take his hand. Because Avery's an asshole.
And as you said in your former podcast,
guys that we all mentioned they all try to play a style of hockey that wouldn't even be acceptable in the 70s. Well, the Flyers don't play that way. The point is that we all have great players in our history, but there's a fine line that's been walked between dirty players and just players that are hardworking and goes to the grind, and we fight because that's our job. Right? So that's just something.
And on this, I think we can pull out a lot of good players out, a lot of, evil players for you want to pursue.
Absolutely. Well, I think it's about time we start winding down the show here. We had a good time. It was a good little round happy hour, but before we go, we might as well do a quick little, if the playoffs start today, but we're not going to do the full. We're going to stay, because pretty much the division standings haven't changed all that much, but we're going to go to the new teams. And let's take a quick peek at what we can see from these teams that are in the playoff picture. And the Flyers are back in. They're number 3 in the division. They can't. The Carolina Hurricanes right now. Get your asses out of here. That big win last night. Anyway, so, new teams that are in this particular division setup. The Toronto Maple Leafs are 3rd in the Atlantic Division with 62 points. So, congrats to them. They are one of only 4 teams that have had 60 or more points in this Eastern Conference. So, respect given to them. The Maple Leafs, if they were 3rd place and they started playing last start tomorrow, they'd be up against the Tampa Bay Lightning. All due respect to the Maple Leafs, hard work and dedication, that's good. Yeah, nice Tampa Bay Lightning. The Lightning finished them off in 6th. They're sitting right now. The Maple Leafs won last year in long. They got Tampa Bay. What would you think? I think maybe they squeeze out the game. That's 5. I think it's 6. I think it's 6-5. We're in the same ballpark of this game. I don't think it'll be a sweep. I think there's enough for Toronto to push them in the game. I don't think there's enough to avoid getting eliminated. They got decent goal timing. Their forwards with the back and minus JBR, but that series gone too far. Me neither. I really don't. Okay, so we leave that and we go to the brand new spanking teams in the wild card. The Montreal Canadiens and the Carolina Hurricanes. Now, the reason why we're doing this is because we're doing Montreal is because Montreal switched positions. So that's what we'll be doing. If the team switches positions, that's very substantial. We'll do it. It's not if you go from 2nd to 3rd, there's no need. Right? But if you go from division to wild card, yes, we will talk about you. Sure. So, in the wild card, Montreal's number 1 in the wild card. They have 61 points. They would be battling the Boston Bruins. No, they would be battling the Pittsburgh Penguins. Montreal would get crushed by the Pittsburgh Penguins. I'd say sweep or 5. That's what I'm thinking in my book. What about you?
I want to agree with you, just for the sake of playing devil's advocate. I didn't say this game of this series was 7, and I'll tell you why. I'm not convinced in Pittsburgh's goaltending.
Because of Fleury and Vukun.
Right. I mean, Vukun is solid.
Yeah, again, he put Nashville on the map when he first came.
Surely. And Fleury can get shut down goaltender, but he's too hit or miss. And Montreal does have a lot of good goal scorers on their team.
They do. I mean, with Danny Briere adding to the roster, they still have Gallagher, and they still have guys like, I forget his name. He's on the Slovakian team. Right. I forget his name. But anyway, I'll remember it later, and it'll be too late. We'll be off the show. But anyway, now we go to that. Do you think Montreal does beat? Do you think Montreal beats Pittsburgh?
No, Pittsburgh. I think that's what it's right.
What do you think is the game amount?
I'm saying 7.
7 place. All right, then. So a classic 7-game series right there. This is how Pittsburgh off with.
Right now.
All right. Carolina. Well, Carolina being able to check themselves in. It was just last night. They were 3rd. Now they're back down to wild card. They could stand it. But anyway, Carolina would be facing off with Boston. This is quite obvious. Boston would win. And the reason why is because Carolina doesn't have consistent play. And quite frankly, I don't see Carolina's goaltending staying off elimination against Boston. There's just no way now. Boston will try and finish them very, very fast. I'm still saying the same thing as still Montreal. Sweep or flag. It's not going any further than that.
I love to put devil's advocate here, but there's no argument for that. They just don't have the line depth, on the goaltending. Bruins, as we saw painfully over the weekend, are just a complete team from top to bottom.
They're that solid contender, right? That you either want to avoid or you have to put a 7B.
Right.
So we leave that, and the newbies who are in the standings basically are all out in the first round. So not a whole lot of positive outlook to the Eastern Conference when we switch positions.
It's just like that. Newbies are going to change up from week to week to basis.
Meanwhile, in the Western Conference, nothing has changed. It's all the exact same standings. Only difference is St. Louis is number one. Well, actually, we could do that. Let's do that. St. Louis is now number one in the Central. Congratulations. They're tied on 77 with Chicago. Yeah. So St. Louis would be going mano-a-mano with the Minnesota Wild. This is another series that I say probably ends in 6. Minnesota puts up a decent enough fight, but I think St. Louis will pull it out.
All love scoring games.
Yeah, it's all about all those. It'll be goaltending duels, and Harden keeps up in his game. And Minnesota's defensive rather than being offensive at this point. And St. Louis is a lot in the same way, too. As much as goal scoring as they have, they do play defensively as Dan Hitchcock likes to do. So, St. Louis wins that, though, to be in 6. What about you?
I think 6. I'll say that that's a prayer now because, I see Minnesota taking their home games. They're really good home team. The crowd gets behind them, and they get off to a lead, and they will just suffocate you.
Absolutely.
It reminds me of the late 90s Devils when I was Minnesota.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
maybe it's not the talent to pull out that series, though, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's that. What a start today. That's just a brief little glimpse into it. If Ray ever comes by to be our third man, we'll give opinions on both the Olympics and his playoff route. So it'll be quite interesting to see. So Ray, next Wednesday, you know what we're being asked of you. Show up with your research, your theories, your quantum physics, and everything. Make sure that you have the answer to challenge us. We need our Steve down here, man. Yeah, we need our Steve down. And quite frankly, me and him are agreeing too much. We need somebody to disagree. Please have a different opinion. Please say the Ducks are going to win the cup. And in exchange for us saying the Blues are going to win it. Please. All right, anyway. So that's that. That's next week. Next week in the show, obviously, we'll hope to have Ray in. If Ray is in, we will get his third man opinion on the playoffs and his view of what's going to happen. We'll also get his opinion on the Olympics because we want to be fair and impartial here. We'll even tell him how the tournament set up so that way he doesn't get it wrong. Like we had to study it and do it right here on the spot. But we got it right.
The next week will be on the eve of the Olympic.
On the Olympic game, but you guys even more exciting when we get our third man in just before the Olympics get going. So we move that on. That will be what happens next week. Next week also will come up with the top 10. Today was top 10 jerseys. Again, we'll be posting those in picture form on Facebook. So you can take a look at those. And Twitter. We are planning on Twitter. So if you like the show today and you like the first episode and you listen to the full episode for 4 hours, thank you very much. God bless you. Either way, love us on Facebook or like us. Love us too. I'm good for you. But nonetheless, we hope to get you guys' opinions. Send us the comments, send us some messages. Give us your top 10 lists on who you think are the dirtiest and filthiest players who belong in the sin bin. Give us who you think belongs in the penalty box out of all the active players and active office members in the NHL. It could be an owner. It could be a front office clerk. It doesn't matter. They belong in the penalty box. Nonetheless, that's our show again. We hope that you guys come back for more here on the Hockey Happy Hour. And we're going to send it out with penalty box only because it's just such a classic and we have to do this. So, from everybody here at Hockey Happy Hour, I'm Matt Suti.
I'm Rob.
Yep, that's last call, gentlemen. Last call. We'll see you next time on the Hockey Happy Hour.